gambling policy. NBA, the Celtics have ruled out Jason Tatum, Al Horford, and Robert Williams tonight versus the Cavaliers.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
All right, everybody, welcome in. Happy Monday. Kenner and Cav live here on Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM. Live at 1410 ESPN Radio's website, wingam.com. That's where you can stream us live on ESPN Dayton's YouTube channel. That's where you can go and subscribe and, of course, watch the show weekdays from 3 to 6. Segments in their entirety, all segments that we do, of course, and then, of course, all interviews that we do, so make sure you check that out. And then live on the Justin Kenner Show Facebook page. Again, welcome in. Happy Monday. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Mr. Kevin Nash, welcome.
What up, dog? This type of day it is. This type of day it is. Kenner, this type of day it is. The sunglasses. It's 71 degrees outside. It's beautiful outside. I'm surprised you're even at work. I'm surprised you're not on the golf course.
Sean, the echo is fixed, so my apologies. I have not been on the golf course since it started getting really nice out, which is unfortunate. But this is my busiest time of year with basketball going on. Obviously, high school state tournaments, girls this state tournament coming up this weekend, boys next week. March Madness coming up around the corner. I mean, this is my favorite time of year. Red Spring training officially underway. We got a lot of stuff going on there. Look, with not being on for a few days.
Yeah.
So it is fixed? Yes, he said 10-4. Yeah, we good. We good. Thank you, Shaw, producer of the show.
What up, Shaw?
He works remotely, but
remote day.
Remote day, yes. Remote days are fun. I'm jealous of the remote days. No, I'm joking. But we do get those. Me and you just don't take. We can't sit there. We just don't take advantage of ours.
We have them, but we don't use them.
But you know what's coming up?
Almost like vacation days.
What? NFL draft, NFL combine, all that fun stuff. I mean, we are in the thick of it right now. The Cleveland Browns, their name keeps getting brought up all over the place for some big name free agents, including not former Cincinnati Bengals. He's still part of the Bengals. Jesse Bates, according to Mary Kay Cabot, says that he would love to play for Deshaun Watson and he would love to play for the Cleveland Browns if he does indeed hit free agency, which it sounds like that could potentially be the case because, well, the Bengals have made absolutely no effort to try to keep him, but the Browns are being linked to a lot of big names of free agency. A couple weeks ago, we had an individual on that in Mr. Duffin that came on that's kind of, he's a, talking about he's a salary cap expert. And right now, prognosticating and kind of looking ahead, the Browns could have up to 60+ million cap space available once they restructure some deals. And by this point tomorrow, we could potentially be talking about the Browns already restructuring Deshaun Watson's contract because it sounds like the Ravens are about to slap that tag on Lamar. And the second that the Ravens slap that tag on Lamar Jackson, that's when the Browns are going to be able to restructure their deal. So keep that in mind. That is something to keep an eye out for. Now, that's not going to automatically open up the 60 mil, but it's going to open up a significant chunk. That's about 90% of the Browns' available cap space is going to be opened up because of how they restructure that deal. That's awesome. Fantastic. Cool. There's some other big names, obviously, that they're going to restructure that's going to open some things up. But, Kev, I'll get to the Brown stuff and the Bengals stuff in a moment, but there's a lot of news from throughout today that really has a lot of people in NFL circles kind of keeping an eye on everything going on. You know what I laugh is a lot of times whenever we're sitting there probably about week 14 or 15 and guys are resting, divisions are wrapped up, whatever, or, whatever it may be, you start kind of sprinkling in some off-season chatter a little bit. Like, what are some free agents that are going to be hit?
Right.
The free agent market was kind of boring as we were wrapping up the 2022-23 regular season, but the free agent market now is all of a sudden looking very, very interesting. A lot of the cap casualties are really making this offseason pretty fascinating. And what's interesting is a lot of the guys that people are moving off of are the guys that you need to win Super Bowls, and it's a lot of guys in the secondary, and it's a lot of pass rushers. The Eagles are they had 78 sacks this year. They might move on from guys like Fletcher Cox and Hargrave and some of these guys. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. But so many big names available, including one that just became made available today, technically through trade, Kev. How about the Titans announcing that they're ready to move on from Derrick Henry? I find that one kind of caught me off guard more than anything else today.
I mean, this happens every single year, and it just seems like this year there's more and more big names out there that's going to be released or cut or whatever you want to say. You want to talk about Kendrick from the Vikings. He's going to be cut. Floyd from the Rams. He's an outside linebacker. He's potentially going to be cut as well. So there's going to be a lot of big time names. And you talked about the Cleveland Browns. I know we're going to touch on it more in a second, but they seem to be linked to every single free agent out there. Like, it just seems like they're one of the first teams that comes to mind or gets brought up by all the talking heads on ESPN. Like, I'm hearing about the Browns. I think the Browns might be involved with this player or that player. I am a person that believes in free agency to supplement the things that you need. And on the Browns defense, they need a lot. So if we're talking about Floyd or Kendricks going to the Cleveland Browns, that would definitely be a win for them. And then you talk about Jesse Bates as well.
Yeah. And, the thing is, and of course, right away, the Browns trying to defend their offseason championship and blah, blah, blah. They won the offseason. I don't understand why. I mean, I do understand it. I'm sure I throw shade too. But the thing is, if you think I'm going to feel bad for my team trying in the offseason, I'm just not, at the end of the day. And I do think that the reason the Browns keep getting brought up is, to be fair, there are a lot of teams that are going to be rumored for a lot of these names. But the reason that the Browns are so for instance, there's a lot of writers and reporters out there for respective teams, of course. So the Bengals are not being mentioned for a lot of these names because, for one, they're in a different stage than the Cleveland Browns are right now. The Browns already have their quarterback as far as taking care of financially. So if the Browns were in the midst of about to have to sign their quarterback to a major deal, they probably wouldn't be as aggressive in free agency. The Bengals are in a much different spot. All of their big moves this offseason, Kev, it's going to be the decisions that they make as far as the future of Joe Mixon, the contract extension, getting that done with Joe Burrow, what you do with T. Higgins. A lot of this stuff and the decisions that the Bengals have to make, Kev, it's with the guys already currently on their roster. They don't have a lot of holes to fill. They have areas that they can upgrade. So I'm not going to get in the immature back and forth spat with the Bengals fans today. I'm here to say that, yes, the Browns are going to be a lot more aggressive this offseason, adding to their roster because they're a team that, they haven't made the playoffs in back-to-back years. Your team is coming off of 2 seasons ago, 1 play away from winning a Super Bowl, and last year 1 play away from getting back to the 2nd straight Super Bowl. So, yes, the Bengals are going to be a lot more quiet this offseason. They're going to have to fill a lot of holes in the draft, which they should do a good job of because they've killed it the last 2 drafts. The Browns are going to come across as, look how, they're going after big names again. Yes, that's how you win Super Bowls. That's if you look at the most aggressive teams over the last couple of years, the teams that are winning Super Bowls are the most aggressive teams in the offseason. This is why I said about the Bengals. I know that they've been very, very, I'm not going to rip their way of doing things, Kev, because it's actually worked. They've drafted really well. They've developed really, really well. And the mid-level free agents that they go get, they're very, very effective. The Hendrickson, beyond effective. DJ Reader, beyond effective. Mike Hilton, beyond effective. And then they've complemented the pieces that they've developed in the meantime. They go get Eli Apple. I know he's a guy that, polarizing guy, but let's be clear. Your team, I know he's not an elite defensive back, but he also has made plays in some of your biggest moments over the last 2 years. So we can't sit there and act like he hasn't added something to you guys. Let's be real. That's another mid-level or below mid-level free agent addition that has made an impact. That's great. That's fantastic. But if you look at the Rams, the most aggressive team, whether it be in the offseason or at the trade deadline, they won a Super Bowl. The Eagles, one of, if not the most aggressive team in free agency last year, and even at the deadline this year, won a Super Bowl. I believe you have to be aggressive. So if you want me to feel bad that the Browns are in the running to get Javon Hargrave, you want me to feel bad that they're in the running to get Jesse Bates, you want me to feel bad that they might go out and get a DeAndre. I don't feel bad one bit. There's multiple ways to win in the NFL, but it's kind of silly to knock the Browns for being aggressive, which has worked for the last 2 Super Bowl winners. Oh, the last 3, I'm sorry, because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, look how aggressive they were. They went out and got Tom Brady. They went out and got Leonard Fournette. They went out and got Gronk. So the last 3 Super Bowl winners happen to be the 3 most aggressive teams in the offseason and trade deadline. So if you want to knock my team for doing that, more power to you. But let's be clear, I'm not getting ahead of myself. The Browns have done absolutely nothing so far. So let's not get ahead of ourselves, not just Browns fans, but Bengals fans, Browns haters as well.
It's a ton out there for teams to supplement their rosters with. But I also believe that the biggest supplementation of your roster comes from the NFL draft. You get, I guess, more bang for your buck is what I'm trying to say. You can, depending on your team, you can get potentially between 7 and 15 guys, depending on how many draft picks you got, and you don't have to pay them a lot of money. A lot of the guys that are going to be released, they're veterans for a reason. They made impacts in this level of football for many years, so they're going to be searching for bigger paydays than a rookie would be. You know what I'm saying? So that's always a balancing act. Obviously, some free agents cost more than others. Some other free agents are looking to try to just latch on with a team and try to win that Super Bowl. Some guys are trying to, hey, man, I've been accustomed to getting paid X amount of dollars, so I'm trying to cash out. Or even like the guy we were talking about before we got on the air, Orlando Brown. He is now won himself a Super Bowl with the Kansas City Chiefs. Now he's looking for that big payday. So I'm pretty sure no matter what team it is, whoever offers him the most money, Orlando Brown is probably going to be playing for, because not all legacies are built exactly the same. He's not a quarterback, so nobody's going to be saying, oh, man, he's the best of all time because he's won X amount of Super Bowls. We just saw Joe Thomas enter the Pro Football Hall of Fame and only sniffed the playoffs one time in his career. Nobody cares because he handled his business. So each and every player has different priorities, and then not only the players have different priorities, the position comes with different priorities, because as a quarterback, like, hey, man, I have to win because I'm a quarterback. Offensive lineman is like, man, I just got to keep this speed rush in off my quarterback, and I can continue to collect paychecks year after year.
Kenner and Cab with you live here on Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM. So some of the comments from the post from earlier. So I made this post a little bit ago that the Browns appear to be a popular landing spot for many big name free agents this offseason. I said appear, okay, like they rumored to be. Jesse Bates has been rumored to Atlanta since, there was a couple weeks ago, he was hanging out with a couple of his buddies that played for the Falcons. But let's be clear, a lot of players have friends on a lot of teams.
Especially in Atlanta,
yes. But, the fact that when asked about the Browns specifically, that Jesse Bates said he would love to play with Deshaun Watson and would love to play with the Browns, according to Mary Kay Cabot, who I know a lot of Browns fans, just some like her, some don't, but she's locked in. She has as much access as anyone down there. I'll take her at her word for anything she says. But look, Bates, to Cleveland would be very interesting nonetheless. But the comments that have to come in on this, Kev, it would be different. This is from Ryan Holmes Apple. It would be very different for Bates playing with the team at the bottom of the AFC North instead of the top. Let's not forget he did play for the Bengals in 18 and 19, which put them in position to get Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, and Jamar Chase. Let's be clear. Bates is overrated. He would fit nicely with that overrated team. Okay, that's fine. That's your opinion, Shawn Michaels. Shout out to Sean. Here's the one that I found a little interesting. Okay, this is the one that I don't know how I feel about this one, Kev, but this comes from William Yelly. He goes, the dude is good. He's solid, but he's not a game changer like Derwin James or Minkah Fitzpatrick. It would be dumb to overpay. Let him go to the Falcons and be irrelevant for the rest of his career. Now, I think that's an aggressive post, William. I don't agree with that necessarily. I will say that I actually applauded the Bengals for not making him one of the highest paid safeties in football, because I do think Jesse Bates is really, really good, but he's right. Fitzpatrick, I don't think I've watched a Steelers game that we have not mentioned that name. I watched a lot of Bengals games last year. There wasn't a lot of Jesse Bates. You could talk about him being checked out because of, he was holding out at the beginning of the season, didn't get a deal done, and knew he had to play to kind of work for this year's money. Maybe that had something to do with it. But I also agree with, I don't know where that criticism seems to be a little too aggressive. I think Jesse Bates is a very good safety, but I'm not going to be a fan if the Browns give him 19, 20 mil to a safety. I would be a little concerned about that, especially if he has to be the best safety, one of the best safeties in football. I'm not even sure if he's the best safety in the AFC North. If that's the case, that's where I would be hesitant if I'm the Browns to give him that kind of money. That's where I'm willing to meet William Yelly from that post about that. Your thoughts?
Jesse Bates is a very good safety. But you're 100% correct. Like, he's not Minkah Fitzpatrick. He's not Derwin James. He doesn't make the impact plays that those dudes do. I will say this about Jesse Bates. I say this about myself too. When I used to play basketball, pick up basketball, whatever, it always seemed like when I had a real good game, we lost. When Jesse Bates was at his best, the team was not good. The players around him weren't good on defense. The offense wasn't good. He was the best player on the team, making all the plays. Then they started getting more players around him, more guys, and now it's like, all right, he's a cog in the wheel. So I'm not sure what to take away from that. You would imagine if we put more players around a very good player, that player is going to make even more splash plays. Or we can look at the defense and say, like, well, they do play a 2-high safety shell. So the Bengals do not give up a lot of big plays. They don't, because they play their safeties back. They're able to do that because they're able to get pressure with their down linemen, just the 4. They don't blitz a lot.
Yep.
They can do that. So what I would ask a more seasoned football player, imagine having Keith Byers on a radio station, but I would ask KB, like, is that just simply he's not having quote unquote stats is because what he's asked to do now versus what he was asked to do later? Because before, Jesse Bates was blitzing out the secondary. They were moving them all over the place. Now he's pretty much a static player. Like, hey, don't let nothing get behind your head. So those are the questions that I will ask not only Cincinnati Bengals fans, because they watch their games a lot more, but also somebody that has a ton of experience with pro football like KB. Because from my eye, I didn't see him being used the exact same way. So if I'm Jesse Bates, to validate my success that I had earlier in my career, hey, man, move me all over the field like you did before you get all these other cool players, because all the plays that Mike Hilton was making with the Cincinnati Bengals, that's what Jesse Bates was doing before they got all those good guys around him.
First of all, great point. Did not even think of it like that. Like a lot of the great seasons that Jesse Bates had early on were on those real. So this is why the comment, and again, some of the shade comments that come in, like, oh, I guess, he's going to have to get used to being at the bottom of the division instead of at the top where he was, yada, yada. But let's not forget that he started with the Bengals the first 2 seasons that they were really, really bad. That led into getting the Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, Jamar Chases. But you were right. The dynamics of those teams were so different, and he was the best player on that defense. And
he's the best player on the team.
He
was the only guy that I was like, man, he's good.
And he was all over.
Not. Yeah.
So it's like, so maybe the Bengals are onto something here, saying, hey, we know how good he is. And by the way, let's be clear, the Bengals are not moving on from Bates because they don't think he's good. It's just that they feel like they like kind of putting their resources in other positions, and they feel like they're confident in their ability, to draft that position or have enough depth to be able to kind of, have versatile guys drop back there. I just, as a Browns fan, I know it sounds quick, adds to the rivalry. Oh man, we went and plucked one of your best players off your defense. But my concern is if we went and took Minka Fitzpatrick from the Steelers, I'd feel really, really good about that. I'd feel really, really good about that. I don't know, as a Browns fan, if I feel really, really good about going to get Jesse Bates from the Cincinnati Bengals, mainly because of how much it would cost. It would cost a lot of money to get Jesse Bates, and money that I think that the Browns should spend elsewhere. Or if they're going to spend that somewhere, you better be the top of your position. He's not the best safety in football. I don't think that that's the type of money you give to someone that's not the best at what they do, and especially not the best in their own division. That's kind of where I'm at as far as that goes. And who do the Ravens have?
Nobody.
Well, that's why the Bengals love throwing all over the Ravens whenever they get that opportunity too. But yeah, the pass rushers, keep bringing on the pass rushers. Keep bringing on the pass. That's really, I think the Browns are going to put all their money into the defensive side of the ball. Even at linebacker, there's some nice linebackers. There's the Kinsley or whatever his name is, the linebacker from the Vikings got released today. That's a big deal. That's a guy that has connections to, obviously, I know it's a defense to our offensive coordinator from their time back there, but he liked, apparently there was someone that said the Browns and he liked the Browns post today. So who knows? But I think the Browns' money is going to go on that defensive. This is a compliment to the Bengals who are throwing shade at me today, but you got to find a way to stop Joe Burrow. You got to find a way to stop potentially Lamar Jackson. You got to find a way to stop the potentially improved Steelers offense. That's really what it comes down to. It's about the Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. It's about all the great quarterback play in the AFC. How about one of the bigger news from today? Now, I don't think this is one of the best quarterbacks in the AFC, but a very, very accomplished quarterback in the AFC was traded, or at least not traded, was released and finally made his decision today. A guy that we thought was going to end up back in the AFC, he's packed his bags and he's, beads galore coming his way.
Headed to the dirty South.
How about Derek Carr? Not
DC.
signing with the Jets, going to New Orleans. It's with the Saints. Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas. Maybe Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas.
Maybe Michael Thomas.
Yes, exactly.
Definitely Chris Olave, though.
Big news out of the NFL today. What does that mean for the rest of the quarterback landscape? Lamar Jackson. Tomorrow's the deadline for the salary, for the franchise tag. Lots of stuff to still get into. Reaction to NFL Combine. The Browns rumors galore out of there. Cincinnati. It's going to be a quiet off season, but just it's going to be a loud off season as far as what decisions they make internally with their current roster, of course. And then, the Ohio State Buckeyes. The Buckeyes, they showed out this past weekend in the Combine as well. So we got a lot to get into. Give us a call, 518-1410. Kenner and Cav right here on Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM.
Listen, stream, watch. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash, right here on Dayton's ESPN Radio, 1410 Wing AM. ESPN 1410 Wing AM weather.
The forecast is calling for cloudy skies, chance of a shower, and 38 tonight. Gradual clearing, 48 Tuesday, Wednesday, partly sunny at 47. I'm Rick Schrepp for 1410 ESPN Radio.
Attention business owners, if you are hearing my voice and have 5 or more W-2 employees, you may be entitled to a tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. OhioRefund.com helped a business owner with 23 employees, and they received a refund of over $375,000. To check your company's eligibility to receive this government-approved program of up to $26,000 per employee, visit OhioRefund.com. We have already secured millions of dollars for businesses just like yours. At OhioRefund.com, you will find out with no cost up front how much money your company will receive. Even if you got PPP money, you can still qualify. This is a payroll tax refund program approved by the United States Treasury Department for any business who kept employees on payroll during the pandemic. Best of all, these funds do not have to be paid back. Do not miss the opportunity to claim up to $26,000 per employee. Visit OhioRefund.com. OhioRefund.com. That's OhioRefund.com.
I like to be active, and as you get older, I know it because I am older. You're more prone to injury, and I could not get rid of the pain.
QC Kinetics patient Diane Richardson talking about how a hiking injury left her in awful pain.
No one wants to live in pain. I certainly don't want to live in pain. I don't have time for pain.
Diane had heard about regenerative medicine, so she called QC Kinetics and started treatment right away, and the results were incredible.
I couldn't believe it. I honestly was skeptical, but the pain went from a 10 to a 0.
QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in using natural biologics, healing properties from your own body to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. There's no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime.
The result was phenomenal. I mean, I was not feeling any pain. I'm able to do everything that I want to do.
If you have pain from arthritis or injury, this may be the solution you're looking for. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation.
It was a game changer.
Call QC Kinetics, 937-936-0325. That's 937-936-0325. 937-936-0325.
College basketball frickin' heats up this year like never before. Frickers brings back a fan favorite, frickin' street tacos that add to the drama that the tournament provides. Frickin' chicken tacos, char-broiled chicken tacos, and Mississippi barbecue taco. Frickers also scores with a 48-ounce personal pitcher of ice-cold domestic draft beer for only $6.50 all the games. Frickin' street tacos, $6.50 personal pitchers, nowhere else but the home for fun, food, sports, and spirits, Frickers.
I'll second guest dinners with friends because they can be interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit creoninfo.com or call 800-633-9110 to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
$5,000 sign-on bonus. That's right. My friends at Cordell Transportation are now hiring experienced Class A CDL drivers with excellent work history. If that's you, apply now. Cordell Transportation offers home daily dedicated lanes, no-touch freight, and brand new equipment, plus a $5,000 sign-on bonus paid over 18 months, paid orientation, and company 401k with company match. Apply online at CordellTransportation.com. Cordell Transportation, driven to succeed.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
I don't know about you, but freshening up my house for spring is one of my favorite times of the year. That's why I'm so glad I made a stop at Kohl's, where I was able to save 25% off must-haves from Sonoma Goods for Life, like new decor for my living room and the softest sheets for my bedroom. Plus, I earned Kohl's Cash. So if you want to spend less on your spring home refresh, you know where to go. Select styles. Offer ends March 12th. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
O'Reilly. Protect your engine against sludge and wear with a synthetic oil change. O'Reilly Auto Parts has 5 parts of Level 1 full synthetic motor oil for $35.95. Plus, get 2 times O Rewards points. Our professional parts people can recommend the supplies you need, including a filter, funnel, shop towels, spray pans, and more. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
3 little words no parent wants to hear.
My tummy hurts.
And it always seems to happen at the worst times. Like in the middle of the morning rush, when you still have homework to check and lunches to pack, and of course, you're already late for work. Luckily, there's Pepto Kids. Pepto Kids chewables provide fast relief for common stomach issues, turning those 3 words into these 3 words.
I feel better.
Bad time for stomach upsets? Good time for Pepto Kids chewables. Fast relief for little tummies. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
AC or heat problem? It's BOGO season, baby. Invest in a 16-SEER AC unit and get an 80% furnace completely free. Just pay labor and permits. Call Drake Heating and Air at 937-472-0640.
Jeff Graham.
Trotwood's coach. Okay.
Trotwood, yeah. Trotwood coach Jefferson County. And I always, I'm supposed to get out there later in the springtime. I'm going to come see him later in the spring. But I used to spend a lot of time when we played together at the Jets in Dayton, Ohio with him. I'm familiar with Bob Evans, as I always tease him. But, man, only good food place y'all got out there. Bob Evans.
Don't miss the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash. Weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. on Dayton's ESPN Radio, 1410 Wing AM.
Kenner and Cav back with you here on Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM. 518-1410, 518-1410. That's the number to call that you can call and jump in on the conversation. Plus, you can also text that number, text or call that number, whether you want to call in and let your opinion or voice be heard or text us your message. Literally, it pops up right on our screen. We can interact with you that way. Plus, Justin Kinner Show Facebook page right there. We get to, of course, interact with you there. Let's see. What do we have? Dustin Taylor. What up, Dustin? He said the Bengals and Browns will be atop the AFC North for the next couple of years. Kevin Nash, cap or no cap?
Cap.
The Bengals and Browns will be at the top of the AFC North. Bengals, you don't see the Bengals there?
Hit the music.
You don't see the
Hit the music.
You don't see
Hit my music, dog.
You don't see the Bengals being there at the top?
All I know is I see one team at the top and hit my music, man. Why you
hating?
hating? Yeah. I don't know who the other team is going to be, but we going to be there.
Well, I'll tell you what, news, not really breaking news. We kind of had an idea about this, which, by the way, real quick, Damon Hahn says this about Jesse Bates. He is a Bengals fan. He says, I wish Bates well wherever he goes. He has contributed to the Bengals coming up. His time has run its course in the jungle. Time to move forward. So,
Maturity.
Yeah, this, of course, is in response to, we opened up the show today with Mary Kay Cabot over the weekend, and yesterday too, a report had come out that Jesse Bates was asked about, if he's a free agent, where could he potentially see himself? He said he would love to play in Cleveland. He would love to play with Deshaun Watson. There's lots of rumors and reports of Atlanta being an obvious landing spot, but that team has a lot of money. The Browns have a lot of money, but they have to be selective with that money. And as I've said before, I like Jesse Bates. I think he's really, really good. He would definitely be an upgrade for the Browns at that position. But if he's going to get that 19 to 20 mil a year that he's pursuing, I don't think that makes sense. I think that the Bengals are right for not giving him what he's asking for as far as that asking price is concerned, because as I stated earlier, if he is the best safety in football and he wants that, I'm fine if the Browns make that decision. But I have a hard time with that decision of the Browns if they go that path. You give 19 to 20 mil a year to a guy that is not only not the best safety in football, but not even the best safety in the AFC North. That's the problem that I have as far as that's concerned. Derwin James, another guy that was mentioned, is not, better than him. But Jesse Bates, very, very good. But it's about the money. That's really what it comes down to. So it'll be interesting. But that's what Damon Hahn's comments and Dustin Taylor and some others, what their comments had to do as far as that's concerned. So nonetheless, Ozzie Newsome, former general manager of the Baltimore Ravens. Now he's still working with the front office in some capacity. Well, he was just on a podcast. Of course, and let me pull up the, it's not really an exact quote necessarily that you have to follow, but he was on the podcast or the show with Bernie Kosar and was asked, a very simple question, man, tomorrow, the tag, it's the deadline. If the Ravens don't get a deal done with Lamar Jackson by tomorrow, what are the Ravens going to do? Ozzie Newsome, very blunt, just said, well, then we're going to franchise tag him. Wasn't very elaborate as far as the tag because there are two different tags you could put on him. And one would allow him to go out and pursue other offers from teams. And they would have about a week to counter offer any of these. And if he does accept an offer from another team, the Ravens have a week to match it. And if they don't, then the Ravens would get 2 first rounders. Now, I don't know if those are protected. I don't know if that means that team's first rounders. Is that so if the Jets take them, they have to give up the next 2 seasons worth of first rounder. Okay. And I don't know if those are protected. I don't know how that works.
No, they're not. It's not NBA style. You got to give them up. You sign said player. It's almost basically protecting the other team from basically falling apart because if a guy is that good, obviously he's part of that franchise, and he's not a unrestricted free agent, so it keeps them alive, so to speak.
Okay. Well, look, this Lamar thing is interesting. So Derek Carr signed with the Saints today. Now, one thing about the Lamar conversation that you and I have had on the show, and I feel like we've been doing the same topic for many years now because, it has been many years. I'm ready for this to be over, whether it's the extension part or just him going to another team. I'm tired of talking about Lamar and the Ravens. It is what it is. But it all comes down to that guaranteed money. And a year ago at this time, it was March of 2022 when Deshaun Watson, when the deal got done with Cleveland with the trade, that totally changed the landscape of the quarterback market, or at least the owners, although we say it has, the owners are doing everything in their power to make sure that it has not. That the Browns deal with Deshaun is a one-off, that is not going to change the landscape of the quarterback market, and the Ravens are the first team, or Lamar and his representation, whatever that representation it is, obviously it's kind of historic. Him and his mom are working this deal. They're sticking to it. They're saying, well, if he got that money, that's the money we want. In fact, not only do we want that money, we want more money than the guy that's getting paid more than me, that has not won in the playoffs, that has not won an MVP, yada, yada, yada. So there's that whole thing right there.
Mm-hmm.
So now the next part of this is you start looking at, well, what other quarterbacks have the guaranteed money? And the Ravens are they're about $100 million off in the guaranteed is what he's wanting. Well, Derek Carr, Kev, he got a 4-year, $150 million deal today. $100 million of that is guaranteed. That hurts the Ravens. That hurts the Ravens even more because, as I've said before, Derek Carr, there's nothing wrong with Derek Carr. A year ago, if the Browns don't get Deshaun Watson and they ended up with Derek Carr, I'd feel pretty damn good about Derek Carr being the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. The Saints should feel pretty good about it. Michael Thomas, a bunch of players today tweeted out, thank God. Michael Thomas put the prayer hands up. Thank God they're happy to have Derek Carr in New Orleans. There are worse quarterbacks to have than Derek Carr. But at the end of the day, Kev, Derek Carr is not Lamar Jackson.
Right.
So that $100 million guaranteed, that again is just one more quarterback making $100+ million guaranteed, that the Ravens have to look at Lamar and say, yeah, well, we only think you're $30 million a year more than that. And that's really what this comes down to. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. And then all the reports are coming out about Daniel Jones, and it's looking like he's going to get that $40 million. So we can go back and forth about this player's worth this amount of money and he's not worth about this amount of money. The fact of the matter is, the Ravens are in a bind here because they know that he's better than those guys. He's more decorated than those guys. He has the hardware, so to speak, to back up what he does. And the wins and losses equate to when he's playing and when he's not playing, and not just the wins and losses, the points per game when he's the quarterback of the team. So all that's working in their favor. And you talked about the cap expert that you had on the day I was out. I wish I was here for that.
Jack Duffin.
Because I really wanted to listen to him and break things down. We could talk about all those things. The fact of the matter is the Ravens, if he stays with the Ravens, they're going to end up paying him way more money in the long run than they could have if they would have paid him from the jump. We saw this happen with Dak. I said the same thing. They're going to end up paying him more. They had to pay him more because they allowed other people, lesser players, to get paid more than him. So they have to pay above that. And that's the same thing that's happening with Lamar Jackson. If I'm the Baltimore Ravens, I'm going to Lamar and his mom and saying, look, whatever the reason is, they don't think he's a franchise quarterback. He's asking for too much, whatever the case may be in their eyes. I'm trading him. I'm trading him because apparently you don't want to pay him this much money for whatever reason. You ain't got it or you don't think he's good enough. Let's go ahead and reset. Let's hit the reset button. I know it's crazy to trade an MVP quarterback, a superstar in this league. But if we can talk about the Bears resetting after 2 seasons with Fields, then we could talk about the Ravens resetting with Lamar Jackson and let him go off, because guess what? You're going to get way more for trading Lamar Jackson than you would trading Justin Fields. So you're guaranteed to get 2 first-rounders if you do the non-exclusive tag. But if you can call up Atlanta, you can call up Miami, you probably can get multiple first-round picks and multiple second-round picks and reset your entire roster. If I'm the Ravens, I go ahead and trade him because I can get a whole lot for this guy.
Yeah, so here's the other thing. It's interesting about the money aspect of this with the fully guaranteed stuff. The reason, so Jack Duffin alluded to this. We've talked about it. Don't want to go into it in too much in detail, but the owners are all rich. There's just different levels to rich. The Browns are cash rich. That's why when it came down to the fully guaranteed, like Deshaun, the whole length of his contract, the Browns already have that money in their account.
Mm-hmm.
They could literally pay him his entire 5-year money right now and it not impact them.
Big money.
Baltimore, if they agreed to that deal with Lamar, Kev, they don't have all of that money in their account. They're almost like, yeah, we owe you that. Like the Ravens owe you money at this point.
Mm-hmm.
When the Bengals get that deal done with Joe Burrow, the Bengals don't have that money in the account already. Like they would be owing Joe Burrow. The Browns don't owe Deshaun Watson. They just have a time slot of when that money's going to drop into his account. They already have, that's the one thing I found most in that money is already in an account. The Browns already have it. They don't have to do all these cute little, they do have the naming rights to their stadium, but they don't have to go make all these drastic changes and do things they've never done before to get this money. In fact, right after getting that deal, a year after getting that deal done with Deshaun Watson, what do the Browns go and do? They buy 25% of an NBA franchise in the Milwaukee Bucks.
Right.
That's Browns ownership. They have a lot of money. I think it's ownerships that are before we're all working within money that they had. They don't have this money anymore. This money is getting to the point where these owners, Kevin, are these owners being priced out even after already owning these franchises? Are we at that point where some of these owners are being, and again, no one feels sorry for billionaire owners, but that's where we're at right now. Are these owners getting priced out almost in these situations?
I won't call them mom and pop franchises because that's very disrespectful, but for lack of a better term, the Pittsburgh Steelers are mom and pop. The Baltimore Ravens are mom and pop. There's a lot of teams that have been around the NFL for a longer time that's their business is we are an NFL team. This is what we do. And now you have billionaire owners that come from different facets of life. Ballmer, Bezos, soon to be NFL owner. You talk about Mark Cuban, the money that he has. I know he doesn't have an NFL franchise yet, but you have other owners coming into this sports realm, and this is an extension of their already said business. They have a bigger business portfolio, while these other teams that have been storied franchises in the NFL, this is their business. That's why you have the back in the day, the Heinz ketchup at where the Steelers played and everything like that. Now they switch it over to a shore. You give up these naming rights to influx your business with more cash flow. Not to get econ major on you guys, but that's the reality of it.
Right state education,
yeah, man.
baby.
I gotta be in that class. I gotta be in that class. Don't mess with me. But yeah, that's just the reality of it. When you have billionaire owners and then you have multi-billionaire owners coming from different facets of business, they operate at a different level. And I think that us as fans, we only look at it from a perspective there's a salary cap. Yeah, there's a salary cap about how much you can spend, but if I got enough money to go ahead and pay you in advance, then that's not going to count against my cap. So I have more money to play with because I've already paid said player. But if you are out here paying the player like everybody else used to do, like, well, we're going to pay you year by year, check by check until your contract is up. Like, teams are still operating like that while other teams are operating at a different level because they have that extra cash flow.
Yeah, keep in mind, like in baseball, when players get a big contract, it doesn't really bother me. I don't care because it doesn't impact anything. You know, and now with the Reds, I do have to care. So for instance, like the next time, when the Angels or whoever signs somebody, a big market team signs somebody, that fan base isn't saying, oh my gosh, we just mortgaged our future to sign Shohei Ohtani. We just mortgaged our future to sign, you know, whoever. The Reds, they're small. So when they signed Joey Votto, what did everyone do? We just mortgaged our future to sign Joey Votto. And that's the thing in baseball. I mean, it's like that for small market teams, but it's not like that for the major market teams. Well, in football, everyone's the Reds. You do this with Deshaun Watson, did you just mortgage your future to get that? When the Bengals do it with Joe Burrow, did you just mortgage it? So you have to ask yourself, is this guy worth it? Is this guy talent-wise? When we invest all this money into him, when we get this guy, that means we can't get these guys. Is there enough left to do something with? That's why I think that the Giants' decision, if they do go forward with this Daniel Jones, that's a bigger impact on the NFL than, to me, any other move. Deshaun is an elite-level quarterback getting elite-level money. There's only a handful of elite-level quarterbacks getting elite-level money. There is so many more Daniel Jones in the world, which is why I think that will impact the quarterback market in a negative light way more than this Deshaun Watson thing. So
The funny part, I know we got to go to break. Lamar, if they do the non-exclusive tag, it gets $33 million a year. They do the exclusive tag, he's going to get $45 million a year. And once they do the exclusive tag, that's the new starting point. Before it was like, all right, man, $40 million a year. If you do the exclusive tag, now they're going to be starting at $45 million a year. So the price is going to continue to go up.
Moving on up.
That's why you should have paid them in advance, or you should just go ahead and trade them.
Kenner and Cav with you live here on 1410 ESPN Radio. Tyler, Fife on Facebook. I still do think Lamar Jackson deserves to get his money, but I just don't see the Ravens paying him that money. If I'm Lamar, I tell the Ravens, all right, well, you know what? I'm out of here. And that could be exactly what happens. And it will be fascinating to see what ends up happening with the Baltimore Ravens. Because keep in mind, all these other teams, they're dropping their top defensive players left and right because they're about to go into a rebuild. Look at the Titans, right? The Ravens are going to be behind the eight ball in this whole reset thing. Now, maybe they start dropping guys left and right too and just completely resetting. Who knows? But this deadline thing tomorrow, we're going to have a better idea as far as where the quarterback market and where Lamar Jackson, what the future in Baltimore really looks like as far as that's concerned. So Milwaukee Bucks over the weekend, Giannis Antetokounmpo yesterday. Well, the owner of the Cleveland Browns now owns a good chunk of the Milwaukee Bucks. And Giannis must have been doing some of his homework on the city of Cleveland, and he must have come across the Ricky Davis chapter. The Ricky Davis chapter. I remember exactly where I was when Ricky Davis did this particular thing that Giannis did yesterday. The NBA made its ruling on this just a little bit ago. Some interesting stuff there. How about Antoine Davis, the Detroit Mercy, by the way? He came up 4 points shy of breaking the all-time scoring record in college basketball history. Everyone is celebrating that, but I'm here to tell you that the kid's probably still going to break it. He's going to have a shot to break it. Why are we celebrating that he didn't get it, by the way? We're going to talk about all of that to close out hour one when we come back.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio.
The back half of the NBA season is here, and now is the perfect time to download FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, because new customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's bonus bets back if your first bet doesn't win. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. It is safe, secure, and super easy to use. Then you can bet on everything. Learn more. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Must be 21 and older and present in Ohio. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. The big hoopla events are back Sunday, March 12th, with a fun-filled day of events. The road starts at the University of Dayton softball fields with the 4-miler run at 9 a.m. Join us at noon for the free STEM challenge for K through 8th grade students at the Dayton Convention Center with hands-on exhibits and a basketball hotshot contest with prizes awarded. To register for the 4-miler and the STEM challenge, please visit DaytonHoopla.com.
You've been putting back a few, and a few becomes a few too many. For a moment, you think of calling for a ride, but nah, you live nearby. What's the worst that could happen? You get pulled over, your insurance goes up, you lose your license, you total your car, you kill someone. The results of driving drunk are tragic. That's why law enforcement is out there looking for impaired drivers to save lives. So if you think you're okay to drive after a few drinks, think again. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
3 people you should be 100% certain about. Your barber, your plumber, and your tax pro. Switch to Jackson Hewitt and you can be 100% certain about your taxes. We'll get you your maximum refund guaranteed and we'll back your return for life. Don't be kind of certain or almost certain. Be 100% certain. Switch to Jackson Hewitt today and get 50% off tax prep. Limited time offer for new clients filing at participating locations. Max value $200. Visit jacksonhewitt.com/50 for terms.
Everyone loves TV Dad.
On the next TV Dad, presented by Progressive, TV Dad meets the prom date.
So you're here to take my daughter out, huh?
Yes, sir.
Now, I'm only going to say this once. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds.
Oh, I thought you were going to say take care of my little girl or something.
She's a kickboxer. She could take care of herself.
Listen to your TV Dad. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary.
Folks, does your animal's sleeping quarters look like a mud pit? Well, we've got bedding. Fine, medium, large, curly, and cedar. Make your animal's living quarters great again with bedding from Homestead Feed and Supply. New Carlisle. Tell them the Colonel sent you.
The Western Ohio Home Builders Association and ADT Solar present the Clark County Home and Garden Show, March 11th and 12th at the Clark County Fairgrounds in Springfield. Industry professionals will be on hand to discuss your indoor and outdoor renovation projects. Utility bills got you down? Learn about ways to save money by going solar or upgrading to geothermal heating. Come out to discuss these and all your home improvement projects at the Clark County Home and Garden Show. Tickets are $5. Children 12 and under are free. More information online at clarkcountyhomeshow.com.
Still overpaying for a razor? In this economy? Gross. At Dollar Shave Club, you can get a top shelf shave at a regular shelf price. We've been hawking shaving products for years online, and we're excited to bring you the same great quality and low prices at a store near you. From high-quality stainless steel blades to super smooth shave creams, Dollar Shave Club's in the business of making your shave easier. Find Dollar Shave Club in the men's razor aisle. Getting your Dollar Shave Club razor wherever you want. Isn't that great?
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Thinking about gas mileage? If your check engine light is on, it may be affecting your MPGs, but the free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help. With the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes, you'll know what's affecting your gas mileage and more, and you don't have to drive too far to find the fix. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service is available at all 6,200 stores.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
See details at AutoZone.com.
Complete your bathroom makeover with 11% off everything at Menards. Find your dream vanity and bath cabinets with Ove Decors. They add extra storage and a touch of elegance to your bathroom. Get 11% off everything for your bathroom, including Ove Decors, vanities, and bath cabinets right now at Menards. Good through March 12th. Savings are mail and rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Dell Technologies provides growing businesses with the tools to do incredible things. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel vPro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
Hey, it's Justin Kinner from the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash. We appreciate all of our listeners and, of course, our sponsors. In fact, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be able to do what we do every weekday from 3 to 6 p.m. right here on 1410 ESPN Radio. We take pride in being Dayton's only local afternoon sports talk show right here in the Miami Valley. If you would like to jump in as a sponsor of our show or promote your services within our show, all you have to do is reach out to us directly by texting us at 937-518-1410. Want Kev and I to endorse your business and services? Just text us. You want to promote an open house, a grand opening, new location, or any other kind of service? Just text us. Bottom line is that we are here to help spread the word and help grow your business. Text us today, 937-518-1410, and we'll give you all of the information that you need to start promoting your business on the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash right here on 1410 ESPN Radio. Kinner and Kev back here on 1410 ESPN Radio. Kev, how is it? Selection Sunday's already coming.
Oh, my goodness.
Like, what is happening here? College basketball season's winding down. The Buckeyes could potentially play in their final college basketball game of the season on Wednesday.
Who they got?
Tournament. I have that pulled up here. I'll pull that up in a second. Dayton, they'll be in action later on this week as well. Wright State, their conference tournament wraps up tomorrow night, but their conference tournament is officially wrapped up. That was an interesting trip to Milwaukee.
Are you sharing that?
Yes, I have never had a car stolen before until I went to Old Mill Yucky.
Kia Boys.
The Kia Boys, that's a thing.
Yeah.
With the Z at the end.
I tried to tell you over the summer, man.
Okay,
I was in Chicago.
So let me reset this here. So, yes, it's funny because about a month ago, I used to live in El Paso, Texas. And when I remember growing up in El Paso, Texas, there were things that, so when you got out of your car, you always had these they look like little foil things, like you unwrap them and you put them in your, windshield or whatever. And it keeps the heat from just absolutely. And then the other thing you do in El Paso is you have these things called little jacks that you kind of have a key for them, and then you put it between your steering wheel and then you lock it and then you get out. And I always thought that was the weirdest thing. Then we moved to Ohio, and apparently so safe here in Ohio, you don't even need them because we didn't use them when we moved to Ohio. But in El Paso, we needed them. Well, I get to work about a month ago, and I look over in Kev's car, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, he's a car jack on his car.
Yeah.
And tell everyone why. Because you drive a Kia. Yeah, yeah.
So last summer, I was in Chicago on vacation. Chicago. So I'm seeing all these cars. Just, man, he has a club on his car. They have a club on their car. They have a club on their car. So I'm checking into the hotel as I asked, hey, what's up with all the clubs? And the attendant said, you don't know about the Kia Boys?
What's the club scene like?
He's like, you don't know about the Kia Boys? I was like, no. It's like, that a rap group? Like, what's up with that? It's like, YouTube it. So I jumped on YouTube, of course. And so people are stealing Kias with USB drives. There's a way to crack open the steering column of a Kia, certain models, and you stick a USB drive in there and you start it right up. So people are able to steal your car with a USB drive in under 30 seconds. So I got myself a club because I have a Kia. So I'm said like, hey, if somebody's going to steal my car, I'm going to have to make them work for it. Basically. So yeah.
I made fun of Kev for this.
Yes.
Like, oh, come on, Kev. And by the way, I'm one
catering,
of those.
Kev.
I live recklessly, okay? If my car was meant to get stolen, it's going to get stolen. Okay? If I get COVID, I get COVID. Like, I live recklessly, right? Like, I'm the weird one, right? No. Kev Nash. He's on it. Well, I'll go to Milwaukee this past Thursday or whatever it was, and we have to go to I forgot what arena it is over there in Milwaukee, but we're going to team practice. And I've been told Chris Collins and others say, don't make got to be there on time. Don't make the team late. Yada, yada, stay out of sight, out of mind. We get down to the lobby and the valet's taking forever to come to us. And finally they come up like, your car's been stolen. What? Never had a car stolen before. The Kia boys, man, they got us.
Got you.
They got us. So now we had to get on the bus with the team, and I'm uncomfortable. I'm my personality. I can't talk. I have to talk. I can't be in a vehicle very long without talking. And I had to be 7-hour bus drive home and not say a word the entire time.
What movie you watch?
I watched Your Honor on my iPad. Then
Okay.
it died, and I couldn't lay down. Couldn't sleep. It was a long drive home. Let's just put it that way.
Good times. Good
So
times.
I didn't get the car back. Everything was out of the car at least.
I was
But
about
yes,
to
that
ask
is
that.
wild to me. The car was stolen.
Yeah, I don't leave anything in my car now. Like once I went to Chicago and heard that, I was like, well, I'm not leaving anything. I don't leave any cords in the car. I don't leave anything. I don't leave the lighter in there. I don't leave nothing. It's bare bones in my car now.
So, but yeah, I guess they busted out the back window to get in. So like even if we found the car, of course it was my seat that they busted out. So I couldn't, I was like, I go, sorry, Kenner. Guess yeah. How's your thumb work? Ohio State has Wisconsin, by the way. Thank you, Shaw, again, coming through in the clutch.
Badgers.
But yeah, so that's that. The trip to Milwaukee. So the car was stolen. Wright State loses. It was just a bad trip. Great company, though, but bad trip overall. Just
Great
because
times.
great times.
First time in Milwaukee?
Yeah, City of Dreams.
Speaking of Milwaukee.
Speaking of Milwaukee. I have to push this to the start of the next part of the show, but yes. So that was my first experience in Milwaukee, having the car stolen. I mean, no one strives to go to Milwaukee. I get that, but like Milwaukee, oofa. By the way, like, God, what is the name of the arena that they made us play in? They have a nice little venue right, downtown Panther Center. That's where the Bucks used to play. And they put us in this like 4,000 seat venue. Of course, gave them a nice little atmosphere, yada yada. But is what it is. But yes, that's how the weekend came to an end for Wright State basketball, nonetheless. Wow. All right, Kenner and Kev with you here on 1410 ESPN Radio. Hour 2 coming up. I see we got some callers on hold. Kev, who we got right off the bat when we come back?
Riverside Rick is on hold.
Riverside Rick, I need you to give us a couple minutes so we can get to the top of this hour. Does he have a story about the Kia boys?
Yes, they got him.
The Kia boys got you too, Rick? I guess, and by the way, Milwaukee, I guess, is the worst. It's the worst over in Milwaukee. That's where it originated from, I guess. The Kia boys started.
Yeah.
They started their tour in Milwaukee.
Chicago is very big in Los Angeles as well, and Columbus. And they've been getting people here in Dayton as well.
Yeah, and so I feel like I shouldn't be saying this because everyone's going to know, but like the back window on certain Kias, there's only one window on the Kia that doesn't trigger the alarm. So that's how they do it so quick. They pop it, bam, get in, get out, and off they go.
Good times.
Good times. I don't know if they found the car or not, but that's why. So if you're renting a car, in all seriousness, PSA moment, when you're renting a car to leave the city, and probably not even this city, don't get a key. I mean, get a key. I don't know. What do we have? No, we don't have. Okay. I don't know. Just lost a sponsor. Get a Kia, but don't get a Kia that has the years that, damn it, kidder. Hour 2 coming up next. Maybe more Kev when we come back.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio.
College basketball frickin' heats up this year like never before. Frickers brings back a fan favorite, frickin' street tacos that add to the drama that the tournament provides. Frickin' chicken tacos, char-broiled chicken tacos, and Mississippi barbecue taco. Frickers also scores with a 48-ounce personal pitcher of ice-cold domestic draft beer for only $6.50 all the games. Frickin' street tacos, $6.50 personal pitchers, nowhere else but the home for fun, food, sports, and spirits, Frickers.
For adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy, now there's Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months, and Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Nothing and me go hand in hand. Nothing on my skin, that's my new plan. Nothing is every day.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, you could achieve 90% clearer skin. Ask your doctor about the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
You have empty office space to fill or home office to create. You know what you need. You know what you'd like. But you also have a pretty good idea after you've shopped around the usual places what you need and what you like might not happen. Well, then you haven't been to Charles Larrick's Warehouse Outlet. Nobody has their selection. Nobody has their discounts. And every week, there's something new. If you need office furniture, Larrick's Warehouse Outlet can sell it to you for half the price and below manufacturer's selected prices. Half price and below on hundreds of items. Selection from budget to the best. Really, desks from $50 to $5,000. Filing cabinets from $25 to $500. Before you go anywhere else, do yourself a favor and come to Larrick's Warehouse Outlet. With 25,000 square feet of selection, you're not going to go anywhere else. Larrick's Warehouse Outlet at 23 McOil Avenue, Dayton. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6. Larrick's, continuing the tradition.
Cordell Transportation is hiring third shift dispatcher/customer service representatives. Excellent pay, great benefits, no experience necessary, and paid training. Apply online at CordellTransportation.com or stop in today at 2942 Boulder Avenue in Dayton. Equal opportunity employer.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Wendy's homestyle French toast sticks are so good. Some are saying they're better than their moms. Perfectly crispy, perfectly golden brown. Try Wendy's homestyle French toast sticks today and see if they're better than your mom's.
Justin Kinner with you here. St. Patrick's Day is coming up just around the corner, and we have the perfect event to help you kick off your St. Patty's Day morning. We're inviting you to join us Friday, March 17th at Community Golf Course for the Half K Draft Dash presented by Buckeye Vodka. Following the Half K Dash, stick around, enjoy some green beer, a breakfast buffet, plus you'll have opportunities to win tickets to see Blake Shelton, Taylor Swift, Cat Williams, plus we have a variety of gift cards we'll be giving away as well. It's the St. Patty's Day Half K Draft Dash presented by Buckeye Vodka. Register and get all the information that you are looking for at wingam.com.
We are Dayton's home of the Ohio State Buckeyes.
And into the end zone goes Chris Olave. KJ Hill, 6-yard touchdown catch. Right sideline and down he goes to the end zone.
WING 1410 Dayton's ESPN Radio.
Kenner and Cav back with you here, 1410 ESPN Radio, off and rolling here on a Monday. Hope everyone had a great weekend. So, yeah, we were talking a little bit ago, went to Milwaukee last week with Wright State, filled in for Jim Brown to do color for the Horizon League quarterfinals match. Yeah, it's the quarterfinals matchup. And the car got stolen, and apparently, it's a big deal. So our PSA was, if you have to get a rental car to go out of the city to go to Milwaukee or Chicago, don't request from your rental car company. Say, with all due respect to Kia cars, great cars, by the way. Kev drives a Kia.
Yeah,
this is a third-party endorsement on behalf of Kev. There's nothing wrong with Kia cars, but that's what these they're targeting the Hyundais and the Kias for this particular model. So that's the car we had stolen.
Yeah, I saw in the news that Kia has the update coming for people.
There you go.
With these models of the car, but it's not going to be available until June.
Ooh.
So then
did they check the internet?
So then you get till June before you can schedule an appointment to go in there. But you got to think on top of that, everybody that has that type of car is going to be scheduling in June as soon as you can get it. So you're probably not even going to be able to get it until maybe July, August. That's half the summer.
Sorry, Kev doesn't have a Kia. He has a Honda.
Yeah.
He's a Honda. Don't go after my guy Kev. He has a Honda. You hear that, Kia boys?
Because you'll be picking me up from home.
Are there Honda boys and Hyundai boys? Oh, there are. There's Kia boys.
Honda and Kia are basically the same thing.
Well, the Hyundai, right?
Yeah.
So it's basically the same thing nonetheless. But yes, that was my adventurous weekend or week heading into the weekend nonetheless. So we have a caller who experienced this too, correct?
Yes, Riverside Rick, line 1.
We have Riverside Bob, and now we have Riverside Rick. Riverside Rick, what's up, sir?
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Good.
Not too bad. Yourself?
Yeah, well, I'm handling it. But yeah, Friday I went over to a friend's house in Dayton, and I parked out on the street right in front of his house. And I have a Hyundai, and when I went to leave, it was gone.
So you got hit too, huh?
Yeah, I went and looked by the curb, and you could see glass laying on the curb. And I notified the Dayton Police Department, and they came out. And when they asked me what kind of car it was, and I said a Hyundai, the officer just rolled his eyes back in his head, and he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "That's the number one target right now." And he told me about the YouTube and the USB cable.
It's wild, man. Like, so yeah, that's why we were laughing when the hotel was like, yeah, when you rented a car, you should have probably let them know you were heading to Milwaukee or Chicago or anywhere like that. But it sounds like it's even bad here in Dayton or probably anywhere. I mean, it's kind of taken off. But well, hopefully it's all getting resolved for you pretty quickly. So
they found my car yesterday.
Oh,
and it was trashed pretty good. The windshield was smashed. The front end was smashed. The windows. All
so is that what they're doing with it? They're just taking taking people's cars and just
joyriding. And they said most time they run them until they run out of gas, and wherever they run out of gas, they trash them up and leave them.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, this isn't like a chop shop situation. This is kids really stealing the cars to go joyriding and everything like that.
Yep, just for fun.
Yep.
Unbelievable. Hey, I appreciate the
guys
story.
have a nice day.
You as well, and good luck with the car thing. I mean, at least, it was a rental for us, but like, what happens to take you? I mean, hopefully get that insurance on there. Nonetheless, but Kenner and Kev with you here on 1410 ESPN Radio. Excited to be with you here, kicking things off here this hour. So where the heck were we?
We're talking about your trip to Milwaukee, and then there's this guy that plays basketball in Milwaukee who's very good.
Yeah, so Giannis Antetokounmpo. I don't know how many of you are Cavaliers fans in the area. Now, yes, I know Giannis does not play for Cleveland yet. He doesn't play for Cleveland. But back in the day, when I was a kid growing up, I heard about this LeBron James fella. I was a Cavs fan. I was like, man, the Cavs are really, really bad this year. But, the Cavs are rumored to, they're going to be in position to get LeBron James. So that last year before they got LeBron James, they had Darius Miles, they had Ricky Davis, they had Zydrunas Ilgauskas. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, they're a pretty solid roster, right? Carlos Boozer, they had everything that you needed, right? Well, not really, but they had everything you needed to be bad enough to go get LeBron James. So I'll never forget the game where Ricky Davis was one rebound shy of a triple-double. The Cavs have nothing going for him this year. Nothing going for him. Ricky Davis finally having a solid game. They lose the game, but he goes up. His time is expiring. He throws the basketball off the rim, pulls the board down, and he gets his triple-double. People were so furious. They were so upset. So what happened when Ricky Davis did this? Well, it's one thing if you're Ricky Davis, but what if you are an NBA champion? What if you are an NBA MVP? What happens if you do it? Take a listen.
Kispert off the mark. Another rebound there to Giannis. He's going to finish one rebound shy of a triple-double. And that'll do it. Oh, he got it. Does that count? It's got it, right? Shot attempt.
Style. Ricky Davis style.
Ricky Davis style. That's right. So apparently Giannis Antetokounmpo was one rebound shy of a triple-double last night. I believe that was Doris Burke. Was that Doris Burke?
I'm not sure. I don't think that was DB.
But it was, whoever the play-by-play announcer was for the game said, oh, he's going to be one rebound shy of a triple-double. Oh, no, he got the shot off. Oh, he got his board. They questioned if it counted. Yes, he did pull a Ricky Davis. It technically was a triple-double. But, Kev, you were upset about it, and the league responded today. What happened?
Oh, yeah. I think it's garbage, especially for a caliber player, Giannis. I mean, you've earned real triple-doubles before, and if you wanted to get a triple-double that bad, you should have got another rebound in the real flow of the game. That is hot garbage. I love the fact that they rescinded Ricky Davis's back in the day, and I love the fact that the NBA rescinded his today as well. Hot garbage. You're better than that, man. You're better than that.
So, I can't believe I'm saying this.
Come on, Kenner.
Why are you taking it off?
Come on.
So let me get this straight. If he throws a half-court heave, is that not counted as a shot attempt?
Yeah.
So why are we not counting the rebound?
Because according to the rules, Mr. Rules of the Rules,
I'm not Mr. Rules of the Rules.
Mr. Rules of the Rules.
But I'm not in the way that you always bring up rules of the rules.
The player must attempt a shot with intent to score. That is in the rule book.
How do you know his intent? How do you know who he is as a person?
Because
how do you know?
You watched the video. He hit the rubber below the backboard. It's garbage, man. It's garbage. It's garbage. You better than that, man. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that, man.
Congratulations to Giannis on his triple-double. As far as I'm concerned, it counts. How do you know intent? I mean, we know what he's doing, but you can't prove intent. Lie detector afterwards.
Come on, man.
Look, that triple-double goes down in history. What's it do? Who's it hurting?
It's hurting the game, man. It's hurting the game. Have some respect for the game. Have some respect for yourself. Like, you're going to play in like 2 more nights. You're that good that you could go get that kind of whenever you want.
Giannis is my dude.
Yeah, I love Giannis. I think Giannis is the best basketball player in the league. I love the fact that, he's zigging when everybody else is zagging. Like, everybody's shooting threes. Well, guess what? I'm going to just dunk on your face every chance I get. I love it. I love that. But guess what, man? You don't have to do that, man. You just don't. And I love the fact that the NBA rescinded it and brought up out their rule book. Hey, rules are the rules, right? Here you go.
Oh, so the NBA does have rules.
They do.
They do.
Wow.
I wish they could find that little travel rule. It's funny how this one must have been in bold or something. Like the whole triple-double rule or the rebound rule must have been in bold or something.
Oh, they start calling travel. Oh, man, he's done for too.
NBA is going to have to be a 2-pass minimum. Catch and shoot. But yes, the league, look, that triple-double does mean nothing. So why do I got a kick out of it just because he's such a goofy personality anyways, and he does not care. I don't like he's not mad about this or whatever. And he laughed as he's walking up after, like, because he knew, like, yeah, all right, whatever, my bad, But I will say this. I'm fine with them taking away from him, but like a guy like Ricky Davis, let him have it. That's what I said earlier. So I was like, let him have it.
Like, oh my goodness. Like, hey,
that's
I remember when the Ricky Davis situation happened as well. And, that's like really when sports talk media and the talking heads on ESPN really started to take off. Like, people were irate. I had ESPN on in the background today at the station. They barely even touched on it. So it's just kind of weird how, it's still a thing because it's like, you don't have to do that. But like, when Ricky Davis did it, that was the one and only time that the Cleveland Cavaliers led SportsCenter with this egregious act, so to speak. So, now it's kind of like, all right, we saw Ricky Davis do it like 20 years ago. We just saw Giannis. Yeah.
33.
Maybe it was even 21 years ago. So now we saw Giannis do it. Now let that be a reminder to everybody: you can't do it. Have the intent to score.
You can.
Oh yeah, you can.
You can,
but they're gonna take it back. They're going to take it from you.
That's what they do. No fun leagues like the NFL. Nonetheless. All right. Okay, but by the way, after the All-Star break, you're 20 games in. How many games are left? Where are we at right now?
That's a good question.
In that NBA season.
I think where some teams are down to 19 games.
And what do you think about that Luka Kyrie thing? That experiment working?
I think it is. I've always thought that with Luka and Kyrie, they're going to score. They're not out there to play any defense. They're not out there to be role players. They're not out there to rebound. They're out there to get buckets, and that's exactly what they're doing. Now, work as in sense of hoist a banner, no, that's not going to happen. But out there to be super entertaining and get buckets, absolutely.
So, it's just one of those, like, you made that move to be a – but remember, the goal of that team, the reason I say I don't think it's working is because I don't think they're a championship contending team. And you make a move like that to be a championship contending team, right? So that's where I'm kind of coming out with that. Like, you don't go get Kyrie Irving and give up what you did to get him just to still probably finish where you were going to finish even without him is kind of where I'm at with them. I mean, they got to the Western Conference Finals last year without him. I don't even know if they get back to the Western Conference Finals with him. Now, he'll be labeled as the reason why, which I don't think is necessarily fair. But, it was a shock to see Dallas there last year. That wasn't like the expectation to see Dallas there last year.
I think it was worth it. You basically gave up Spencer Dinwiddie, who's a good basketball player, for Kyrie Irving. As a basketball player, is a great basketball player. Now, all the other stuff withstanding, I think you won in that situation because, Kyrie's going to be a free agent after this season. But guess what? You can still re-sign him. You can bring him back to your team. You can offer him what he wants and bring him back to the team, and you can run it back with Luka and build around those two dudes. They weren't going to win a championship without Kyrie, and I think they're in a better position to advance further in the playoffs with Kyrie than they were before.
Luke Stetler on Facebook. I'm sorry, Luke Stetler. Sorry, Steve Stetler on Facebook. He says Luka has to change his game, not Kyrie. Lamar Shelley, what up, Lamar? He says, looking at it, Giannis was trying to draw a line between attempting to score late, which is disrespectful, and getting a rebound. That's true. You know what, Lamar? That's true. Giannis, you know what, Kev? I take it back. Lamar, kudos to you. First of all, my guy Giannis, he's not big on running up the score. That was disrespectful to score late. So he's like, he thought about it, he changed his mind. He's like, you know what? No. Don't want to disrespect the team. That's what happened. I'd have given it to him. Triple-double it is. Back on board. Triple-double. Give it to him. Thank you, Lamar Shelley.
Now, if he's running down the court, because I have it on loop on Twitter, and he passes it to someone and they shoot it and they miss and he gets the rebound, all good. All good.
He facilitated
all
himself.
Good. He could have got another assist or he could have got a rebound if he'd have passed it. But that was janky, man. Janky. 2 thumbs down.
What did you think? What show was he on where he's made a comment about
Kevin Durant? Yeah.
People had a problem with that. I didn't have a problem with it.
I think it was tongue in cheek, man. I mean, this game.
So real quick, the comment was
yeah.
No. I'm sorry. Like just the comment was aimed at Kevin Durant.
Yeah,
saying that he was love to teach him how to lead his team to a championship as opposed to going to a super team. But your thoughts? What show was that on? He was on that talk show, and that was a late night show. People made a big deal about that. Me and you have been off the air for about 3 or 4 days.
I can't remember what show it was, but I did see the clip floating around. I thought it was tongue in cheek. But I mean, I granted, I am rooting for the Cleveland Cavaliers because that's my hometown team, and I want them to go to the finals. But if there's a finals matchup that I want to see, that I'll be up watching, is Milwaukee and the Suns.
Yeah, and then Kevin Durant, what he should have said is, well, hopefully this year, I mean, hopefully not, but, maybe this year, if me and Booker and Chris Paul go out injured again, you might have a shot at another championship. That's what Kevin Durant should have said back. But that's my guy, Giannis, so I wouldn't say that, but I'm just saying I always see a good opportunity, whenever that comes, but, is what it is. Kidder and Cav right here on 14. So Ron Howard, by the way, he says, going back to our rental car conversation, because doesn't rental cars have GPS for tracking?
I don't know.
That I don't know.
So my brother, he used to. Chiefs just released Frank Clark. So my brother used to work for Enterprise Rent-A-Car, and when I became of age of renting cars and going out of town and all that type of jazz, he would tell me like, "Hey, no matter what you do, get the damage waiver. Get the damage waiver on the vehicle that you're renting. I don't care if you have insurance. The damage waiver covers you and the car." Outside of what your normal insurance covers. So you could drive this thing off a cliff. Hey, man, it's all good. You got the damage waiver. This thing could be set on fire while you inside the hotel. Hey, ain't going to affect your personal insurance because you purchased the insurance from the rental car company. So that's another little pointer. If you are going to rent a car and it is, a Kia, go ahead and get that damage waiver.
We should start like an early Saturday morning show. That's just advice. It's an advice column type show.
Yes.
It's how, we're off to a good start today. By the way, Steve Stetler, he wants to know our thoughts about Derek Carr going to New Orleans.
DC. It's solid. It's a solid pickup for them. Some people think that Derek Carr is just a younger version of Andy Dalton. I personally think Derek Carr is a good quarterback. Is this a situation where like, oh man, he's going to be the next franchise quarterback and lead them to the next Super Bowl like Drew Brees did? No, but I think they're going to be in a way more competitive position than they were last year, rolling out injured Jameis Winston and Andy Dalton, who was the backup for the Bears. And then was the backup for the Cowboys. So basically, Andy Dalton's entered the phase of his career where he's a backup quarterback. So I think they made an upgrade.
Well, as of right now, Derek Carr, you can make an argument. And thank you, Steve. Thank you for that question. It is interesting. So I thought this move was kind of strange. Shaw, he does want me to make sure that we give him credit. He'd been calling this for weeks now.
Good job,
and
Shaw.
Look, the only reason that, the Jets made a lot of sense for him, but they're holding their breath to get Aaron Rodgers. But I thought the Jets made more sense for Carr. I don't really know what to make of New Orleans. They still seem to be a mess because they have a lot of deficiencies as well. Michael Thomas, I know who he is as a talent, but is he going to be available to play? He's always one of those. He's missed 2 years.
Yeah.
He's been out for 2 long years. And I was told that when you miss 2 years, you are no longer NFL worthy. That's, as a Browns fan with Deshaun, I was told you missed that much time. You are no longer NFL worthy. But Michael Thomas, I guess, tweeted out today, thank God, with the praying hands emoji. He was excited the fact that Derek Carr now in New Orleans. So there's that. Cam Jordan tweeted out the same thing, that he loves the fact that they got, a lot of star players there. Alvin Kamara, on paper, they have weapons, but is Alvin Kamara going to be there? Is Michael Thomas going to be there? Is Alvin Kamara, what's his legal situation?
Right.
He's yet to be suspended because the league's kind of waiting for that court situation to wrap up. So that's going to be interesting there. Michael Thomas, how healthy is he?
Right.
I don't know what to make of it, but I do know this. I think he's a top 3 quarterback in the NFC. Now, you could take that as a compliment. That's just kind of the reality of it. He might be a top 3 quarterback in the NFC with Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, and Derek Carr. Now, I'd probably take Stafford over him, but I know you're not big on Stafford, but I would probably take Jalen Hurts, Stafford, Carr, and then Dak. But the NFC is not very good right now, quarterback-wise. So I think it's a great move for New Orleans because they've added the most difficult piece to the puzzle, and that's quarterback, something they've been looking for even in the last 2 years of Drew Brees' career. So.
I love this game. This guy or that guy. So we're going to do it. We're going to do it when we come back from the break.
All right. When we come back. So this guy or that, this or that. Yeah. This or that. All right. This or that. Derek Carr, is he the – well, at least just off the top of your head, if you had to guess, is he a top 3 quarterback in the NFC right now?
No, I would say he's top 5.
Top 5. I think he's top 3. I haven't gone through all the QBs, but the NFC is oofa. It is weak. It is weak. 518-1410. This guy or that guy when we come back.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash.
Justin, you're awesome, baby.
Right here on 1410 ESPN Radio. ESPN 1410 Wing AM weather.
The forecast is calling for cloudy skies, chance for shower, and 38 tonight. Gradual clearing, 48 Tuesday, Wednesday, partly sunny at 47. I'm Rick Schrepp for 1410 ESPN Radio.
The road starts here. Sunday, March 12th, the Big Hoopla events return to salute Dayton's rich basketball history. Join us for fast-breaking fun with the Big Hoopla 4-miler at 9 a.m. The race starts and ends at the University of Dayton softball fields. All participants receive a long-sleeve tech tee, a custom finisher medal, free race photos, and tons of post-race food. Register today at DaytonHoopla.com.
College basketball frickin' heats up this year like never before. Frickers brings back a fan favorite, frickin' street tacos that add to the drama that the tournament provides. Frickin' chicken tacos, char-broiled chicken tacos, and Mississippi barbecue taco. Frickers also scores with a 48-ounce personal pitcher of ice-cold domestic draft beer for only $6.50 all the games. Frickin' street tacos, $6.50 personal pitchers, nowhere else but the home for fun, food, sports, and spirits, Frickers.
Now's the time to get a great deal on Kubota construction equipment, featuring durable Kubota engines, more comfort, more productivity, more get it done right. The Kubota construction lineup shows up ready to work every day. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 36 months. Now through March 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more details.
Stop by Columbus Equipment in Columbus, Dayton, or Toledo to see their full line of Kubota construction equipment, or check them out online at ColumbusEquipment.com.
Attention business owners, if you are hearing my voice and have 5 or more W-2 employees, you may be entitled to a tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. OhioRefund.com. Business owner with 23 employees, and they received a refund of over $375,000. To check your company's eligibility to receive this government-approved program of up to $26,000 per employee, visit OhioRefund.com. We have already secured millions of dollars for businesses just like yours. At OhioRefund.com, you will find out with no cost up front how much money your company will receive. Even if you got PPP money, you can still qualify. This is a payroll tax refund program approved by the United States Treasury Department for any business who kept employees on payroll during the pandemic. Best of all, these funds do not have to be paid back. Do not miss the opportunity to claim up to $26,000 per employee. Visit OhioRefund.com. OhioRefund.com. That's OhioRefund.com.
3 people you should be 100% certain about: your barber, your plumber, and your tax pro. Switch to Jackson Hewitt and you can be 100% certain about your taxes. We'll get you your maximum refund guaranteed, and we'll back your return for life. Don't be kind of certain or almost certain. Be 100% certain. Switch to Jackson Hewitt today and get 50% off tax prep. Limited time offer for new clients filing at participating locations. Max value $200. Visit jacksonhewitt.com/50 for terms.
Guys, fellas, men, are you Roman ready for the weekend? Right now, generic Viagra, aka Sildenafil, is just $4 per dose at Roman. Just complete a free online visit with a U.S. licensed healthcare professional. If medication is appropriate, Roman sends what you need in discreet packaging with free 2-day shipping. Generic Viagra from $4 at Roman. Go to ro.co/Viagra. Do it today and get 20% off your entire first order. That's ro.co/Viagra.
$5,000 sign-on bonus. That's right. My friends at Cordell Transportation are now hiring experienced Class A CDL drivers with excellent work history. If that's you, apply now. Cordell Transportation offers home daily dedicated lanes, no-touch freight, and brand new equipment, plus a $5,000 sign-on bonus paid over 18 months, paid orientation, and company 401k with company match. Apply online at CordellTransportation.com. Cordell Transportation, driven to succeed.
I'll second guest dinners with friends because they can be interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit creoninfo.com or call 800-633-9110 to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
Let's be real. Mopping is a hassle. You have to fill the bucket, pushing a wet, heavy mop around, then cleaning the mop when you're done so it doesn't grow bacteria. A hassle on top of a hassle. Try Swiffer Wet Jet. With Swiffer Wet Jet, you start with a fresh pad and cleaning solution every time. And when you're done, you just toss the pad. Swiffer Wet Jet, the faster, easier, cleaner way to clean your floors.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
The free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help troubleshoot the likely cause of your pesky check engine light for free and get you back on the road. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Hey, it's Max Kellerman, and you're listening to Dayton's ESPN Radio, 1410 WINGAM. On Twitter, make sure to give us a follow. Search 1410 Kinner for Justin Kinner on Twitter. That's 1410 KINNER. And ESPN Dayton for the station Twitter handle.
Kev, you know me. I love the history of the NFL. I always like to keep up on all the stats and the homework of the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I was just curious. I was like, I woke up to I'm like, what was the highest passer ratings in the history of the NFL?
Do tell.
Patrick Mahomes, #1.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Aaron Rodgers comes in at #2.
A-Rod.
Joe Burrow comes in at #4.
Burrow.
But who comes in at #3?
Ben Roethlisberger?
The best quarterback in the AFC North. No, not Lamar Jackson. It's my guy, Deshaun Watson.
Oh.
Deshaun Watson, baby, coming in at #3. He has the #3 passer rating in NFL history. Wow. Ahead of Joe Burrow. Ahead. Who would have thunk it? Just saying. We are back. Kenner and Kev with you here on 1410.
Can you tell me his passer rating as a Cleveland Brown?
Doesn't matter. 6. Doesn't matter, Kev. Don't matter. Why you got to be like that? I'll let you talk about I played your black and yellow music earlier.
Hey, man.
No, we're talking historically, probably bad. Like, I'm just saying. I don't know if there's like the bottom
Small
six.
sample size.
Small sample size. You know, it is in the cold. They weren't playing for anything. It was all about getting healthy, getting that rhythm, getting that, relationship, that chemistry with the team. Just saying. Go Browns. Got a Browns conversation coming up on the corner. Bengals fans love hating me, but Browns fans are starting to hate me too.
Uh-oh.
Because of this Nick Chubb thing. And there's an article that came out over the weekend about the Browns' direction that they want to take the offense to. And then between that and seeing what the Titans did today, I'm jumping even more on the stance of maybe moving on from Nick Chubb. But we'll get to that later on. All right, so we're talking about Derek Carr.
Yeah.
Being traded to New Orleans. Not traded. I keep saying traded. He was cut by the Raiders. And he signed with the New Orleans Saints. 4 years, $150 million is the contract. So that's about $37.5 million a year over the next 4 years. 100 of that is guaranteed. So with that being said, New Orleans, you signed into a 4-year deal. 100 of that is guaranteed. You're locked into Derek Carr over the next 4 years.
Yep.
Like this isn't you get Andy Dalton as a bridge quarterback. You know what I mean? Like you had, they tried with who's the guy from Florida State, Jameis Winston. Obviously, I don't think he was viewed as a bridge quarterback, but I do think that was a legitimate effort to see if there was something there.
Yeah.
Because we saw, even his last year with the Bucs, he threw 30 touchdowns. He threw he threw for a ton of yards, threw for a ton of touchdowns. The problem was he threw for a ton of interceptions. So they tried a year with, why am I blanking on every name today? You could tell I've been off for a few days. No, I'm so sorry. The coach, who the Saints have that now he's the coach of Sean Payton. Yeah. So they thought Sean Payton, man, it's 1 year Sean Payton with, him. Maybe they could turn around Jameis Winston. That wasn't the case. Actually, he did start to turn it around and got injured, out for the year. Sean Payton leaves, comes back last year, just never looked the same again. I believe that those became bridge quarterback. I don't think Derek Carr is a bridge quarterback. In fact, I think Derek Carr is arguably a top 3 quarterback in the NFC. Now, I say this because I don't really have it. I haven't really, when you look at the quarterbacks in the NFC, I haven't really gone through the list to kind of rank him yet.
Mm-hmm.
But NFC-wise, he went from a crowded AFC to just being one of the quarterbacks to, I think, one of the quarterbacks in the NFC, Kev. So you wanted to play.
Yeah, this guy or that guy.
This guy or that guy. We're going to find out just how we used to play this game. Bake it or take it. Baker Mayfield from a few years ago. We're doing this with Derek Carr now. Derek Carr, where does he rank in the NFC, Kev?
All right. We'll start in the East. Dak Prescott or Derek Carr?
I'll take Derek Carr.
Oh, wow.
I'll take Derek Carr.
Oh, wow.
Like Dak Prescott, don't dislike Dak Prescott, but I'm also know there's a lot of quarterbacks I'd rather have than Dak Prescott. We'll go with Derek Carr, especially at $37.5 million instead of $50 million.
Okay. Danny Dimes.
Not even close. Taking Derek Carr every day of the week.
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts, not even close. Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl. He is as good as Patrick Mahomes. I mean, that dude, and if anything, you add the physical element to it. I'm a big Jalen Hurts to sum up Jalen Hurts.
Okay. Sam Howell.
Next.
No,
in all seriousness, yes, Derek Carr.
Okay, moving on. We're going to go to Justin Fields, former Ohio State Buckeye quarterback.
For right now, I'm going to say Derek Carr. I think you had a passing game. We know he could pass because we watched it at Ohio State. But as long as he hasn't been damaged, right? If his passing ability hasn't been damaged the last 2 years playing in Chicago, then I might pick Fields eventually. But for right now, Derek Carr.
I'm with you. Jared Goff.
Interesting. Yeah. Tough one.
Yeah, here we go.
Still going to go with Carr, but I'm not going to lie to you. I think a little bit of that is just from the name more than the actual talent. Goff last year led a top 5 offense in the NFL. I mean, the Lions were legitimate, 30 points per game. But I've seen more of Carr playing at this level than Goff at this level. So for right now, I'm going to go with Derek Carr, but Goff is another interesting one. But Carr for me is the guy.
Fair, very fair. I agree with you there. So this is a tricky one. Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay Packers. We don't know where he's going to play next year. He could be with Green Bay, could be with the Jets. He could be in a dark cave chilling. We have no idea. But for this argument, we'll say that Rodgers returns to Green Bay.
Aaron Rodgers is still a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. So I'm going to take Aaron Rodgers. Look, the problem is I don't think he's going to look like a top 5 quarterback in Green Bay. That's a concern. Like last year, by the way, you don't win back-to-back MVPs and then just become below average from one year to the next. I think that a lot of that had to do with just not having a lot of great weapons in Green Bay. He just doesn't. Not a great offensive line. The receivers aren't very good. The run game's solid, but he needs more. I'm going to say Aaron Rodgers, but I don't know. Aaron Rodgers still.
I'm going to go with
Carr.
Aaron Rodgers as well. Here's another tough one. Kirk Cousins.
Not that tough. I'll take Derek Carr's playmaking ability over Cousins. Now Derek Carr has had less weapons than Cousins, and numbers have still been better. So that's why. But
that is a good point. That is a very good. Okay.
That's why. But I've been a big Kirk Cousins defender over the years, even to you. You and I switched sides this year.
Yes, I thought Kirk Cousins balled out this year.
See, he bored me. I think that's why.
It's the same old thing, man. Yeah. But I thought Cousins played very good football this year. Obviously, they lost their playoff game to the Giants. Wasn't his fault, defense's fault. But okay, that's fair. I agree. I'll go with DC.
But you're right. It was close. In fact, for as bad as the quarterback plays in that division, Aaron Rodgers better, but Goff and Cousins pretty close, but still like Carr over both of them.
Okay, so this is another tricky situation. Atlanta Falcons with Desmond Ridder.
Yeah, that's easy. For right now, it's Carr.
And then you have the Panthers, who we don't know who their quarterback is. Obviously, it's going to be Derek Carr over whomever their quarterback is, unless Aaron Rodgers goes there. But we already said Aaron Rodgers is better than them. Then you have the Bucks and their quarterback situation. Obviously, Derek Carr over them because they don't have anybody.
Ron Howard, I hope you're listening. Did you see over the weekend that Baker Mayfield is being rumored to land it? That's who they want as their starter.
Wow. So let's play it.
So Baker Mayfield or Carr? I'm going with Carr.
Okay. I agree. Now,
but Baker, that would be an interesting spot. Good O-line, good run game. Weapons in the pass game. Very interesting. Good for Baker. Hope he ends up there. But
look at the glee in his eyes.
Carr.
Look at his eyes, everybody. He's like, come on, one more try, baby. We got
just give it to him, man.
Third time's a charm. All right, Kyler Murray. I love this game. This is my favorite game, by the way.
Let me put it this way. Browns need a quarterback, and they have to get Carr or Kyler Murray. From a talent perspective, Kyler Murray. He could throw, he could run, but that attitude is kind of weird. It's driving a lot of people away. Man, right now I'm going to lean with Carr, but I think I'm wrong on that. But I'm going to go with Carr. I don't think you're wrong with either, but I think I trust Carr more than Kyler at this point. Although the talent I think is better than Carr, but I'm going to go with Carr. I think he closes the gap on a lot of things there.
Talent-wise, is Kyler Murray by a landslide, but I'm going to go with DC because we haven't seen Kyler Murray play in a structured offense since college. All his exciting plays and all the playmaking ability comes from out of script type of things, scrambling out the pocket, extending plays. And sometimes you're just going to have to sit back there and throw the football. Running is cool, picking up first downs, but you do have to play in a structured offense. So I'm going to go with DC.
Steve Statler he gets hurt every year. He does get hurt every year. Kyler Murray's hurt. I mean, he's going to be out for half the season next year because of an injury that knocked him out of last season. So, yeah, he does get hurt a lot. That is the problem.
Yeah.
But, hey, let's take Bryce Young, number 1 overall, by the way.
For me, this injury, I don't
put on him.
Yes and no, but I don't have a big problem with this injury because this is the type of injury that everybody gets eventually when you play enough football. The banged upness, if that's a word, those are the ones I have a bigger problem with. Those ones that continue to linger throughout the season, like those 2 years prior to this past season where they started out red hot and were like 8-0 and 7-0 and just out like gangbusters. He wore down because they don't play on script. They don't play a structured type of offense where like, hey, man, we're going to get it to ball to our playmakers. They really just go to third down and say, all right, 3rd and 7, make something happen. And he does make something happen, but then ultimately ends up getting them hurt. So we're going to move on to Matthew Stafford, your guy. Matthew Stafford, Super Bowl winner, Matthew Stafford.
I like Matthew Stafford more. I do. I've always been a big Matthew Stafford fan. I'm going to take Matthew Stafford over Carr. But, again, I think both of them can't go wrong with either. But I do like the more playmaking ability with Stafford than Carr. Stafford at the point now where he's going to be banged up a lot, but whatever. He was even banged up the year they won the Super Bowl. He played injured throughout the playoffs, which of course made him banged up heading into this past season, which knocked him out for most of the year, if not all of it. So that's the problem there. I'm going to take Stafford. I still think there's enough in there for me to take Stafford over Carr, but I will say for what the Rams are paying him versus what the Saints are paying Carr, I think the Saints got the better deal of the two, but I'll still take Stafford.
I'm going to roll with DC. I'm going to roll with DC over Matthew Stafford. All right, Geno Smith.
I like Geno, but I need to see one more year of Geno. I like Geno a lot. Last year, I mean, his numbers, we did that. People got mad at me. I did the blind resume thing. Him and Joe Burrow's numbers were the damn same. Joe Burrow had more touchdowns and all that stuff, but look at the guys you play with compared to Geno. Geno still has Lockett and guys like that. Don't get me wrong. Metcalf. But his numbers were really good last. I need to see year 2, but the thing is, it's going to be weird because I think the Seahawks are in that weird mode where like he's not our quarterback of the future, but he's better than a bridge quarterback. But they might be treating him as a bridge quarterback because depends what the Seahawks do with the draft coming up. But I'm going to take DC, but I really like Geno. It's because of this last year. I wasn't a big Geno fan before, but 1 year I can't overtake the longevity of Derek Carr and what we've seen from him. I'm going to take DC over him.
All right, last one is a twofer. San Francisco 49ers.
Threefer. No, twofer.
Lance or DC?
DC.
Okay.
Because for one, who? Lance? I don't know. Been hearing. I've never. This kid is the most famous nobody I've ever heard of in my life, and that includes the Kardashians. I mean, my gosh, the kid's done nothing. Nothing. He didn't even play anyone real in college. But hey, the tape was there. Then he gets to the pros. We haven't seen him. You haven't seen him. The Kardashians have done less. Him and the Kardashians have done less and had made more than anyone else in my lifetime. I'm going with DC over him.
All right, Brock Purdy.
Oh, God, this one's tough.
Yeah. Save the best for last, baby.
I don't think Purdy you could put on every team and have the Purdy effect. I think that I think what Purdy got was the Niners effect. However, I do think that there's something there. But I mean, there was one game. There was one game in the playoffs against the Seahawks where he threw for 300 yards and multiple touchdowns. I'm going to go with Derek Carr still. But man, I think a lot of people are like that because I think a lot of people said Purdy's success was because of the best offensive line in football, all the weapons, the run game. You know what I mean? Like you had everything imaginable around you. One of the best defenses in the league. I got to go with DC just for right now because the guy's he's done more with less to where Purdy's done all he's done with everything you can imagine. So I'm going to go with Derek Carr.
I agree. So you have Hurts, Rodgers, Stafford, Carr. That's your top 4, whatever order you want to put. I have Dak, Hurts, Aaron Rodgers, Carr. So we both believe he's a top 4 quarterback.
I think he's at 4. I think Hurts is the best, no doubt, in the NFC. Right? Hurts is the best. There's Aaron Rodgers at 2. And honestly, I would have had Aaron ahead of him if it wasn't for that Super Bowl performance. But, I mean, let's be clear. Aaron Rodgers, I still think there's something there. There's weapons around Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if I'm saying that. But I think Jalen Hurts younger, the run game added in with it, explosive. So, yeah, Jalen Hurts, Aaron Rodgers. I like Matthew Stafford, and then Derek Carr coming in at number 4.
Okay.
So, there you go.
They better win the division then.
That division. If you don't win that division, you might as well go join your brother on Fox or wherever the hell, whatever. Where's the other car? Where's he at?
Yeah, it's Fox. Yeah,
Fox. You go join Fox. You can be Team Fox after this.
All right, I know we got to go to break. But if your beloved Baker Mayfield goes to Tampa, will you and Ron be on the same page this year?
No, because every time they succeed, it's just going to be a ha-ha moment for me. Ha-ha, Ron.
Hayfield.
Yeah. Hayfield this, Ron.
Hayfield.
Let's see, is Ron in the comment section? Where's Ron? Oh, the one show Ron's not hanging out with us.
If Baker goes there, I will root for them to at least make it to the playoffs. Because to have to hear Ron have to cheer for Baker after destroying Baker for the last 4 or 5
NFL
seasons,
Network.
It would be hilarious. His brother's on NFL Network? Okay.
NFL Network, yeah. Of course, I mean, Shaw, he's
producer of all producers.
Producer of all, I mean, he knows it all. I mean, but Shaw, thank you.
Shaw, where's Derek Carr to you? Is he top 5 in the NFC?
Yeah, weigh in. Good stuff, folks. Appreciate everyone chiming in. Kenner and Cav with you live here on Dayton's ESPN radio station. We'll be right back.
Listen, stream, watch. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash right here on Dayton's ESPN Radio, 1410 Wing AM.
Here at Roosters, we're not just a fun casual joint. We're a family. No matter who we are serving, our guests or our community, we strive to better the lives of those around us. Whether it's aiding in the battle against cancer, helping to educate the next generation, or simply putting a smile on someone's face, the Roosters Foundation has helped raise over $1 million annually for local charities. Our community has given us so much. This is the least we can do. Roosters, we're a fun casual joint, but so much more.
With over 15 years of experience as your local lawn health provider, Lawn Plus knows what it takes to provide a thick, healthy lawn. We offer fertilization and weed control programs, aeration and seeding, as the best defense against weeds is a thick turf. If your current lawn care company is providing 6 to 8 applications, that is far too many. We offer the highest quality products and service to get the best results in just 4 applications a year. Call us today at 937-839-LAWN, and remember, if you give a weed an inch, it'll take a yard.
The winter blues are almost behind us, and we can't wait to get out of the house and be more active. That sounds great, but your achy joints don't agree. Well, time to do something about that. Hey, it's Keith Byers. Stop with the steroids. Stop with the possible surgery chatter. Now there's a better way to get lasting relief. It's QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. This exciting approach uses healing properties from your own body, highly concentrated, and then placed directly in your achy joint. It can restore and repair that damaged tissue and get you moving again without pain. Knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain, hip pain. The patient satisfaction reports are incredible, and there's no downtime. Listen, the old ways of dealing with joint pain are no longer the only ways. If they're telling you that you need surgery, do yourself a favor and call QC Kinetics. Learn more about this wildly popular all-natural alternative way to get lasting pain relief. No surgery, no drugs. The call is free. The consultation is free. You have nothing to lose. Call QC Kinetics now, 937-936-0325.
Need a U.S. passport? We can help. Hi, this is Mike Foley, your Montgomery County Clerk of Courts. Visit one of our convenient auto title locations in Heber Heights, Clayton, downtown, Moraine, and Centerville. Make us your first destination before you travel abroad. No appointments ever needed. We do passports.com for more info.
Urology Specialists of Ohio are here for you. Men, your good health is important to them. Their knowledge of specific male anatomy, prostate issues, and how to help in your healing is their main focus. Urology Specialists of Ohio are now accepting new patients at all locations: Beaver Creek, Springfield, Urbana, Xenia, and London. They have been in practice for over 20 years with over 80 years of experience between 5 physicians. Call today. They can schedule your appointment in a timely manner with little wait time. Online at urologyspecialistofohio.com.
Are you starting to question your gambling or the actions of someone you love?
It may be time to talk to someone who understands.
Call the Problem Gambling Helpline today and talk to a trained specialist.
There's no judgment and no commitment.
Plus, it's completely free and confidential.
We're here for you. You are not alone.
And remember, we all have the power to change.
With the Problem Gambling Helpline of Ohio.
Make the call today.
Call the Problem Gambling Helpline of Ohio at 1-800-589-9966.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. Okay, easy now. You're teaching your kid how to parallel park. Ouch! Turns out he likes to do it by feel. Don't worry, eBay Motors has bumpers, trunk lids, license plate holders, and headlights. They've got lots of headlights. When you need parts, get it right the first time with eBay Guaranteed Fit. When you see the check, you know that part's going to fit. eBay Motors. Let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity during tax season because so much sensitive info is all together.
Before we start the annual meeting of Sean's personal info, has anyone seen Social Security number?
Not me.
Nope.
Nuh-uh.
Oh, no. He's been stolen.
LifeLock by Norton makes it easy to help protect yourself. If you become a victim, we'll work to fix it. No one can monitor all transactions, but you can save up to 25% off your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Identity theft protection starts here.
The Western Ohio Home Builders Association and ADT Solar present the Clark County Home and Garden Show, March 11th and 12th at the Clark County Fairgrounds in Springfield. Industry professionals will be on hand to discuss your indoor and outdoor renovation projects. Utility bills got you down? Learn about ways to save money by going solar or upgrading to geothermal heating. Come out to discuss these and all your home improvement projects at the Clark County Home and Garden Show. Tickets are $5. Children 12 and under are free. More information online at clarkcountyhomeshow.com.
Want to make tonight's dinner a perfect 10? Swing by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken and pick up a 10-piece strips meal for only $24.99. With 10 freshly marinated, honey-dipped premium tenderloins, 3 dipping sauces, 2 of our irresistible large sides, and 5 fluffy biscuits, it's family time made from scratch. Take home a top-notch dinner the whole family will love from Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken with our 10-piece strips meal for only $24.99. Only at Lee's. Famous for chicken.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Discover credit cards do something awesome. At the end of your first year, they automatically double all the cash back you've earned. That's right. Everything you earn doubled. See terms and check it out for yourself at discover.com/match.
Hey everybody, it's Stephen A. Smith, and everyone knows my feelings on Cowboys fans. But really, Justin Kinner, you're a Cowboys fan and a Browns fan? Good Lord have mercy. I don't know what the hell to do with y'all. I really don't.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash. Weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Kinner and Kev back with you here on 1410 ESPN Radio. I can't believe it. Next week, it's already here, Kev.
Let's
Next
get it
week
on.
is the Half K Draft Dash presented by Buckeye Vodka, and it's going to be live at Community Golf Course. The Half K Draft Dash, it's a grueling run that will test the limits of even the most experienced runners. Actually, it's nothing like that at all. Actually, the Half K Draft Dash is just an excuse for St. Patty's partiers like you to walk and run just about 500 yards, 5 football fields to be exact. Get a commemorative shirt, green beer, breakfast buffet, and a chance to win awesome tickets to some really cool events like the Taylor Swift concert, of course, Blake Shelton, Cat Williams. We have Reds and Columbus Blue Jackets tickets. I mean, there's going to be a lot of fun opportunities when you come on out and join Kev Nash and I. Half K Draft Dash presented by Buckeye Vodka live at Community Golf Course a week from Friday, March 17th. Register at wingam.com.
I'm calling out names. Shaw, I want to see you. Packers fan, Tim, I want to see you. And Ron, you cussed on the airwaves.
Yeah, that's very true.
I want to see you in person, Ron. I want to see all you guys come out. We'll have a real good time. Look, we're giving away tons of prizes, gift cards to some of your favorite restaurants. Also giving away prizes for the best dress, first place, and last place. Name a race in town, you can get a prize for coming in last place. Half K Draft Dash with us. That's what you can.
And by the way, getting awarded for being bad, those are the kind of contests I love joining. The Half K Draft Dash, again, look, everyone always has fun plans on St. Patty's Day, so why not start off the day with us and go on to your regular scheduled programming the rest of the day, telling you it's going to be a great time. We're really looking forward to it. It's the first time we've done something like this, so we are really jacked to get the chance to meet all of our listeners out there. And last week I said, oh, man, that was like the biggest influx of registries that we had, and then came in today, and I'm like, holy, I didn't believe the number that they said. So anyways, just get registered, and obviously, let's get set to have a lot of fun next Friday, March 17th, the Half K Draft Dash, presented by Buckeye Vodka at Community Golf Course.
Absolutely. Tickets, wingam.com, and also got to remember, portion of the proceeds benefits Big Brothers Big Sisters of Miami Valley.
So hope to see you there. Register at wingam.com. Kinner and Kev with you here on 1410 ESPN Radio. How about this, Kev, a little bit ago? The Chiefs and Frank Clark. All right, they have parted ways.
Cleveland's owned by way of Michigan University.
Yeah, so everyone's going wild because in his his Twitter, it says from, from South Central to Cleveland. That's been in there before, so relax. Here's the deal. But I love Frank Clark in Cleveland. You know how many guys, Bengals fans, you should want Frank Clark in Cincinnati. Everyone should want. But I'm realistic. I said the same thing about Jesse Bates earlier. There are certain guys that are really, really good that would, of course, make the Browns better. But, again, this is about a piece of the pie. And there's not a lot of pieces of the pie left when you look, even though the Browns are going to have $60 million cap space once they restructure everything. I think you can get really good additions to add to the pass rush, to the defensive line, to complement Myles Garrett. Yes, a Frank Clark-Myles Garrett combo would just be absolutely lethal. But I'm really worried about the Browns biting off more than they can chew with adding too many more big-name contracts. The one thing I will say about what the Bengals do that I like is they find highly productive mid-level guys. I don't want the Browns to go all mid-level guys, but I do believe that going too high for Frank Clark is a mistake. But if Frank Clark has interest in Cleveland, by all means, go get him to Cleveland, playing Jim Schwartz defense. But I will say this, you're not leaving Kansas City in a Super Bowl dynasty to go play in Cleveland unless they're going to make you the highest paid at your position, which that's why he's leaving. He is leaving Kansas City because he wants to be the highest paid at his position. In Kansas City, they bid farewell to Tyreek Hill last year. They go on to win a Super Bowl. They lost their best player on offense, or at least one of the best players on offense. Now they're saying goodbye to their best weapon on defense. Will they go on to win another one next year? Who knows? But they did not tag Orlando Brown. They let him go. And they're obviously losing Frank Clark. For those out there that think, the Chiefs are in trouble, because I saw a lot of fans making fun of the Chiefs will be just fine. The money they save with Orlando Brown, they're going to go get a productive but cheaper offensive lineman. They'll go get another pass rusher. There's tons of them out there who will take less to go win a Super Bowl. Let's be clear. Okay? Like, that happens all the time. No one's taking less to go play in Cincinnati or Cleveland unless they feel they have a chance to win a Super Bowl. Maybe they feel that way with Deshaun there. Some feel comfortable with Joe Burrow in Cincinnati, obviously. But Frank Clark's going to go somewhere. He's going to get paid a lot of money, whether it's Houston, whether it's Chicago, whether it's, Arizona. They have the J.J. Watt money off the books. But it'll be interesting to see where he ends up.
I don't know their cap situation at all with the Buffalo Bills, at all. But if I'm the Buffalo Bills, I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about adding a Frank Clark to go on the other side of Von Miller. Because once Von Miller went down for the Buffalo Bills last year, they had zero pass rush at all. So you team him up with a Von Miller, one of those dudes are going to have to get double teamed. If you don't double team them, they'll be meeting at the quarterback a whole bunch. Like I said, have no idea what their cap situation is like, but I always like teams with two very good rush ends. Obviously, Von Miller, former Super Bowl MVP. He's not the Von Miller that he used to be, but he's still very good. If you're able to team him and Frank Clark together with the Buffalo Bills, that could be scary hours for a lot of teams. Like I said, have no idea what their cap space is looking like up there in Buffalo, but that's the first place I thought about.
Here's a team that does have cap space, and a team I'll give Shaw a lot of credit for. He's
getting a lot of love on today's show.
Frank Clark, opposite side of Aiden Hutchinson. How about that option? They have the money to pay him, and that's one way to get Detroit. I mean, that would put them on the map. And by the way, NFC is for everyone's taking right now.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Philadelphia, I know they're defending Super Bowl champs. They're losing a lot. I'm not saying that they're going to be bad, but they're not going to be as unstoppable as what they were last year. I think that gap's going to close. I think that the Lions, that explosive offense, all their weapons still on rookie contract deals, and then a quarterback friendly or a team friendly contract at quarterback with Goff, who, by the way, led that top 5 offense last year. Keep putting weapons on that defense. I think the Lions could really be a dangerous team next year. It sounds wild, but the Vikings.
J-Mo playing the entire season, coming off that injury from last year.
The Vikings have lost a ton. They've already lost a few key pieces on defense. They're not going to be as explosive. The Packers are falling apart. Even if Aaron Rodgers comes back, the Packers aren't anything to be feared. I mean, you have to respect Aaron Rodgers, but you know what I mean? So you look at the NFC, it's kind of a mess right now. That means it's prime for anyone's taking. So we'll see what happens. How about
NFL?
How about Phillip Rivers? Apparently, when you have to go home and take care of 13 kids, retirement doesn't sound as fun.
Didn't Tom Brady do the same thing?
Oof.
Like, man, whoa, I got to what? We got to go to a soccer practice. Wait a minute.
But apparently, he is kicking the tires on coming out of retirement. This is from Dove Kleiman about an hour ago. Retired NFL quarterback Phillip Rivers has expressed desire to return to the NFL. He has contacted the 49ers.
Oh.
He has contacted the Dolphins about coming out of retirement late. Real quick. He contacted them late last season. So not contacting them for this season. But remember, the 49ers, but with heading into the playoffs, they had Purdy, but they weren't really sure. Well, that winning streak kept going, so they said no thanks, but no thanks. And then obviously with the Dolphins, with the Tua situation. So those aren't teams that he's looking to join this upcoming season, but it does show that he is interested in coming out of retirement, could come out of retirement to play in 2023.
What's funny is those teams that he dialed up. I know he's got to be thinking to himself, watching Tua hit wide open Jalen Waddle and Tariq Hill, and then seeing all the things that Purdy was able to do for the San Francisco 49ers. Like, man, I may be done, but I ain't that done. These dudes is wide open. I can do that. Let me call my agent. Hey, y'all need a backup quarterback? Because I can come in there and I can do my thing for y'all if y'all need me.
Kenner and Kev, 1410 ESPN Radio. We'll be right back.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Blue Day Nation, Betfred has come all the way from England to the great state of Ohio with over 50 years of sports betting experience. No emperors, no movie stars, just a sportsbook you can trust. The Betfred Sportsbook app will be available on January 1st, 2023. Until then, download the Bengals app or go to betfredsports.com and have a chance to win Bengals tickets and exclusive merchandise. Official sports betting partner of the Cincinnati Bengals. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Hi, Sarah. I'm sorry I'm late. The traffic is crazy.
Yeah, it is. And it doesn't help that gas prices have skyrocketed. I can't believe how much it costs for gas now.
Everyone's talking about how much gas is, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app, and I get cash back for every gallon of gas I buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid real cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yeah, real cash every time I buy gas.
What? That sounds like it could really add up.
I've made around $200 already.
Wow, that's serious extra money. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code EARN60 for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back in your first fill-up. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code EARN60 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus in your first tank. That's code EARN60 for 25 cents per gallon cash back in your first fill-up. Cashback's not available in gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Do you or any of your family members, neighbors, or friends own a property that you just want to be done with it? If so, call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you to take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. Call 614-470-2000. That's 614-470-2000.
College basketball frickin' heats up this year like never before. Frickers brings back a fan favorite, frickin' street tacos that add to the drama that the tournament provides. Frickin' chicken tacos, char-broiled chicken tacos, and Mississippi barbecue taco. Frickers also scores with a 48-ounce personal pitcher of ice-cold domestic draft beer for only $6.50 all the games. Frickin' street tacos, $6.50 personal pitchers, nowhere else but the home for fun, food, sports, and spirits, Frickers.
Are you ready for tax season? Belmont Business Consultants and Tax Services is ready for you. If you want to come in person, it's a safe environment. Or you can just drop off. Belmont Tax also provides a completely virtual, secure client portal. For business or personal, if you want the accurate deductions you deserve, contact Belmont Tax in Dayton and Eaton. Go to BelmontBCTXS.com. BelmontBCTXS.com.
Discover credit cards do something awesome. At the end of your first year, they automatically double all the cash back you've earned. That's right. Everything you earn doubled. See terms and check it out for yourself at discover.com/match.
WING 1410 Dayton. Dayton's ESPN Radio.
All right, everybody, welcome in. Happy Monday. Kenner and Cav live here on Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM. Live at 1410 ESPN Radio's website, wingam.com. That's where you can stream us live on ESPN Dayton's YouTube channel. That's where you can go and subscribe and, of course, watch the show weekdays from 3 to 6. Segments in their entirety, all segments that we do, of course, and then, of course, all interviews that we do. So make sure you check that out. And then live on the Justin Kenner Show Facebook page. Again, welcome in. Happy Monday. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Mr. Kevin Nash, welcome.
What up, dog? This type of day it is. This type of day it is. Kenner, this type of day it is. The sunglasses. It's 71 degrees outside. It's beautiful outside. I'm surprised you're even at work. I'm surprised you're not on the golf course.
Shaw, the echo is fixed, so my apologies. I have not been on the golf course since it started getting really nice out, which is unfortunate. But this is my busiest time of year with basketball going on. Obviously, high school state tournaments, girls this state tournament coming up this weekend, boys next week. March Madness coming up around the corner. I mean, this is my favorite time of year. Red Spring training officially underway. We got a lot of stuff going on there. Look, with not being on for a few days.
Yeah.
So it is fixed? Yes, he said 10-4. Yeah, we good. We good. Thank you, Shaw, producer of the show.
What up, Shaw?
He works remotely, but
remote day.
Remote day, yes. Remote days are fun. I'm jealous of the remote days. No, I'm joking. But we do get those. Me and you just don't take. We can't sit there. We just don't take advantage of ours.
We have them, but we don't use them.
But you know what's coming up?
Almost like vacation days.
What? NFL draft, NFL combine, all that fun stuff. I mean, we are in the thick of it right now. The Cleveland Browns, their name keeps getting brought up all over the place for some big name free agents, including not former Cincinnati Bengals. He's still part of the Bengals. Jesse Bates, according to Mary Kay Cabot, says that he would love to play for Deshaun Watson and he would love to play for the Cleveland Browns if he does indeed hit free agency, which it sounds like that could potentially be the case because, well, the Bengals have made absolutely no effort to try to keep him, but the Browns are being linked to a lot of big names of free agency. A couple weeks ago, we had an individual on that in Mr. Duffin that came on to kind of, he's a, talking about he's a salary cap expert. And right now, prognosticating and kind of looking ahead, the Browns could have up to 60+ million cap space available once they restructure some deals. And by this point tomorrow, we could potentially be talking about the Browns already restructuring Deshaun Watson's contract because it sounds like the Ravens are about to slap that tag on Lamar. And the second that the Ravens slap that tag on Lamar Jackson, that's when the Browns are going to be able to restructure their deal. So keep that in mind. That is something to keep an eye out for. Now, that's not going to automatically open up the 60 mil, but it's going to open up a significant chunk. That's about 90% of the Browns' available cap space is going to be opened up because of how they restructure that deal. That's awesome. Fantastic. Cool. There's some other big names, obviously, that they're going to restructure that's going to open some things up. But Kev, I'll get to the Brown stuff and the Bengals stuff in a moment, but there's a lot of news from throughout today that really has a lot of people in NFL circles kind of keeping an eye on everything going on. You know what I laugh is a lot of times whenever we're sitting there probably about week 14 or 15 and guys are resting, divisions are wrapped up, whatever, or, whatever it may be, you start kind of sprinkling in some off-season chatter a little bit. Like, what are some free agents that are going to be hit?
Right.
The free agent market was kind of boring as we were wrapping up the 2022-23 regular season, but the free agent market now is all of a sudden looking very, very interesting. A lot of the cap casualties are really making this offseason pretty fascinating. And what's interesting is a lot of the guys that people are moving off of are the guys that you need to win Super Bowls, and it's a lot of guys in the secondary, and it's a lot of pass rushers. The Eagles are they had 78 sacks this year. They might move on from guys like Fletcher Cox and Hargrave and some of these guys. It's going to be interesting to see what they do, but so many big names available, including one that just became made available today, technically through trade, Kev. How about the Titans announcing that they're ready to move on from Derrick Henry? I find that one kind of caught me off guard more than anything else today.
I mean, this happens every single year, and it just seems like this year there's more and more big names out there that is going to be released or cut or whatever you want to say. You want to talk about Kendrick from the Vikings. He's going to be cut. Floyd from the Rams. He's an outside linebacker. He's potentially going to be cut as well. So there's going to be a lot of big time names. And you talked about the Cleveland Browns. I know we're going to touch on it more in a second, but they seem to be linked to every single free agent out there. Like,